Danfo offers unparalleled, curated and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.
History isn't just what happened, it's who we are. And now you can explore Africa's incredible past like never before. Introducing the new and engaging course catalog from aelearning.net, a world-class provider of interactive e-learning focused on Africa's rich and diverse history. From the rise of ancient Nubia and the power of the Mali Empire, to the architectural wonders of Egypt and the development of astrological knowledge by the Dogon people, each self-paced course brings history to life through stunning visuals, immersive video lessons, and interactive assessments. Designed for students, educators, and lifelong learners around the world, AE Learning's courses make discovering Africa's story easier, deeper, and more engaging than ever. With AE Learning, education meets flexibility. Whether you're a student, teacher, or lifelong learner, our platform gives you access to credible knowledge, rich multimedia lessons, and tools that make learning African history engaging and unforgettable. Join thousands of learners already rediscovering Africa's past and shaping its future. Visit www.aelearning.net today. Start your journey through Africa's past today, because the story of Africa is the story of us all. AE Learning, inspiration through high-quality education.
You have 3 generations to end what I have begun. Only a son or daughter must hear your song in the land I now rule. If they fail, as you know, Chama will be swallowed by time and lost forever.
No! What have I done?
All right, y'all. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe as you come into the live stream. Got a couple of announcements. Lion Champion, just stop, man. You're already starting Lion Champion. Why? Why are you already starting Lion Champion? Why? Well, Lion Champion, you will have the opportunity to call in and ask any questions, and you're more than welcome to challenge Uncle Dynus. Okay, you can challenge Uncle Dynus. You're more than welcome to. But hit the like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. Got a couple of announcements. We're rolling to Senegal. We are rolling to Senegal next month, y'all. It's already April. We are already done with Q1. Now we're in Q2. My birthday is in 14 days. I'll be 44 years old, y'all. It's gone by so fast. It's gone by so fast, y'all. So yeah, my birthday month. But we are headed to Senegal May 9th through the 18th. May 9th to the 18th. If you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo, that's DANFO .Africa to learn more. And even with what's going on with the war and oil prices going up, flight tickets are looking good. From the start of the war from before the start of the war to now, like them tickets, they didn't fluctuate too much. Knock on wood. Hopefully it stays that way. But yeah, they haven't fluctuated that much, the ticket prices. So yeah. So we got Senegal, we have Nigeria in August for Oshun. Then we're going to Zanzibar in September. Then we're coming to Sierra Leone in November, and also should be doing Ghana and Ivory Coast as well. Well, not should have. Ghana and Ivory Coast as well in November. And then we're doing Benin in January. So if you're interested in joining, please visit Danfo.Africa to learn more. Without further ado, we got a special guest. Speaking of Sierra Leone, we got our sister, our auntie, Dory Turay, who's going to be joining us. And, we're gonna be discussing Sierra Leone, y'all. When it comes to me and Dory, actually, we've both received our citizenship via the Sierra Leone DNA Roots Tourism initiative. And when I say behind the scenes, y'all, the work Dory be putting in just to make sure that, because as of right now, the program has been postponed, is on hold. But when I say the behind the scenes, the work that Dory is putting in to make sure that this thing is gonna keep this thing going, yeah, she needs to be applauded. Hold on, I got some sound effects here. Where are my sound effects at? Hold on one second. I got some sound effects, y'all. Hold on. Let's get here we go. There we go. Bam. Sound effects working. Y'all got the sound effects working. Hold on, let me do it again. There we go. Bam, I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna do the sound effects one more time. Hold on, here we go. Bam. Got the sound effect. Okay. Yeah, so Dory's gonna come on. We're gonna discuss, what's going on as far as Ghana at the UN with the as far as the resolution recognizing the transatlantic slave trade. That's one of the worst crimes against humanity. That, and then we'll discuss Sierra Leone, and also Dory has a play. I think Dory's gonna be in there acting too. I might make a little cameo. You know what I'm saying? I might come in there and make a little cameo and kiss on some girls in the play, and maybe I had to fight somebody in the play. I might punch somebody. Go turn into an action flick. A live action flick. I got to go save all the girls and beat somebody up. Drop kick somebody and then ride off. So without further ado, and also Dory has a property, a hotel, Stafford Lounge. We'll not lounge, lodge. We'll discuss that and everything else that she has going on. So without further ado, let me see what's going on in the chat room. Let's bring her on. We can hear the AC unit in the background, so she in Sierra Leone. What up, Dory?
Hey, Dinus. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
How's Sierra Leone?
Sierra Leone is hot. It's nice. Beautiful, as always.
Okay. Cool.
How's America?
You ain't missing nothing. I'm in Atlanta. You ain't missing nothing. I'm ready to come back over there.
My daughter's in Atlanta right now. My daughter Taylor.
Oh, is that that?
Yes, that's Taylor.
You see, he be hating, Dory. Why you hate? I'm supposed to be your son-in-law. Dory, I'm supposed to be your son-in-law, Dory? Why you hating? I got a big old beautiful house here.
Did you really?
Yeah, Dory. Why you hating?
She lives all the way in Philadelphia.
Okay, I mean that's that's a a direct flight. Philly. They got planes between Philly and Atlanta.
Okay, I'll have to introduce you.
Okay,
Let's
there
see
we
what
go. There we
happens.
go. Thank you, Dory. Thank you. So Dory, hey, so Dory, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you been in
Well,
Sierra Leone? How you got to Sierra Leone? What you do? All that good stuff.
my name is Dory Turay. I was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, and I met a Sierra Leone by the name of Desmond Turay. Uh, and coming up on 17 years next month. And he said I'm from a place uh, called Sierra Leone. I know I'm not like most people where I really hadn't heard too much about Sierra Leone, if anything. We ended up getting married within a year. We had our daughter within the next year. And so things kind of moved pretty quickly. But he also had a hotel here in Sierra Leone. And anyone knows that for the most part, a lot of the African people they send money back home. And so he was sending money home to build this hotel. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, the money is going, but it's not coming back. And so if there's any way possible, I need to go over there where my money is. And so I came over here and we had a plan to sell it in 2 years. And 2 years, now I'm here 7 years later.
Okay. Somebody said Columbus in the house, A215. Real quick. So Ohio State Buckeyes suck. I just want to put that on record. Um,
OH,
OH, yeah. Ohio State,
no,
they suck.
OH, you supposed to finish it.
Oh no, I'm not doing that. I know that's true. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No, no, no. They are terrible. Okay. We not Buckeyes down around here. Buckeyes down around here. Um,
If I can recall, we beat the Georgia Bulldogs that
no, you
year.
didn't. No, you didn't. We beat y'all in the national championship.
Are
I'm
you
not. No,
sure?
the game before the national championship, we beat y'all, but y'all did win the 2 years ago. Y'all did win the national championship. Yeah. Hey, a couple years ago, unfortunately, but. Yeah, so what all you got going on in Sierra Leone? You got the Stafford Lounge, you got Salone hitting gyms.
Yeah.
You know.
So, I found we had Stafford Lodge. Of course, that's how I came to Sierra Leone to help my husband run his hotel. Um, Definitely came here to sell it. Um, he promised if
You said sell it or
to sell it. Yes, of course.
like sell
Well,
it.
sell it. Yes.
Okay, okay,
When
okay.
because in propaganda, definitely propaganda. I kind of felt like if we would sell it, he would have more time, we would have more money, and then just give it 2 years, and we can come back to America and live happily ever after. But
Hmm.
definitely when I came here, all kind of things just went haywire. So,
Okay.
and like I said, here I am. And then
Okay.
I also have a tour company called Salone Hidden Gems.
Hmm.
And basically that started after I took a visit to Buns Island. Like I said, when I came to Sierra Leone, I did not know a lot. But when I went to Sierra Leone and to Buns Island, the tour guide said a couple of things to me that I had never heard before. He basically said that from that jetty right there, the majority of African Americans that are living in America today, their ancestors took their final footsteps from that jetty because Buns Island only shipped to the Carolinas and Georgia. They did not ship any other uh,
Okay.
in, in any other state. And then he also said something that we were taken because we cultivate rice. And at
Hmm.
the time, if you look up Carolina Gold, that was the number one producer for America. And so it wasn't King Cotton, it was actually Carolina Gold. And I can remember to this day, my mother, she cooks rice on Sunday every single day since I can remember. And the type of rice that she makes, it kind of resembles the country rice here in Sierra Leone.
Oh
And
wow.
so when you think of the propaganda that we are told as uh, Black Americans, African Americans, it just hit me all at once that wow, we've been lied to. And so I feel like I wasn't the only person that was just basically caught up in a capitalistic society where you're just in a rat race and you really don't have time to sit and think things through. And that was also the first time that I also knew that it just wasn't us living in America that was affected by the slave trade.
Mhm.
I often tell the story that I know my daddy is crazy about me, and if I was taken from him, I know that he would be looking for me. And so that trauma is not only with me never being able to see my father, but also my father never being able to see me. And so for
Mm,
the first time, I think the weight of of what happened to those that were left of the soil weighed on me. And I think during that trip, I just had to share with other people. And so that is how I came up with Salone Hidden Gem.
mm. So the reparations topic, that's been a very very hot topic lately. How
Mhm.
do you feel about reparations for descendants of enslaved Africans and who should get it? And
To me, the conversation is definitely a conversation that should be had. But as far as who gets it and who doesn't get it, I think it's a distraction. Um,
okay,
I honestly believe that it's a distraction. And to say that we were the only ones that were affected by the transatlantic slave trade is just another, to me, another tool of dividing us. And
hmm
when you look at who we are up against, they're always looking to ways to divide us. And to me, this is the
okay. What so I got, in fact, we got who's in the chat, Passport King, who is a militant super militant FBA. He's saying, listen, all everybody else stay out of our business. FBA will worry about reparations for FBA. Ghana, don't, how dare you, Ghana, go to the UN and speak on reparations without FBA. You Pan Africans trying to include everybody. Yeah, you ruin it for FBA and our reparations claim. What do you, how would you respond to that?
first of all, I think I have noticed and seen the kind of discourse that has come out of the Ghanaian president visiting the United Nations, which is in America. I think first and foremost, we have to recognize that since 2008, there has been an International Day of Remembrance for victims of the transatlantic slave trade. So this has been going on for 18 years. Um, Many of us that's living in America, we I don't think that we are even aware of this day. Were you aware of this day?
No, so, but I do know that there was a decade of remembrance from the UN that was started like maybe 2021, maybe. Like there's a decade, but I never knew about the day you're speaking of in particular.
No, so March 25th, every single year, the UN has this day. And this year, the theme was confronting history, um, acknowledging identity, and empowering future. So every year, they have a different theme. So this year, the Ghanaian president said, okay, we're here as countries. You have this quote unquote day of symbolism. Put your money where your mouth is, right? How many people are going to vote for me that this day should be on record that this was the most gravest crime that has been committed against humanity, that has been committed against crimes against humanity in the whole entire world, right?
Mhm.
And so we saw 123 countries vote for it. Three said no, and the other abstained. So that's still a no to me. But when you look at the discourse with the foundational Black Americans, they said, well, how dare they come, how dare this Ghanaian president come to the United Nations and speak on our behalf? He's been coming for the past 18 years. It's just this time that he has said, listen, quit having this type of symbolic day that doesn't mean anything. Let's vote. Who feels one way? Who feels the other way? And so I think when we're not curious and we just go off of, because to me, like some of the discourse that came to me was, it's kind of laughable because if the Ghanaian president came to the United States to meet with Donald Trump, where are the pictures with Donald Trump? Why do you have 123 countries voting in this manner? Why do you have 3 countries voting no? So you would have to be curious and say, okay, well, wait a minute, what exactly is going on? And then when you see what exactly happened, then I kind of feel like it wouldn't be that type of outrage because the United Nations is made up of countries. And so, of course, she wouldn't invite a foundational Black American because that's not the place for the UN to do that. And it would only be a country that had people taken from soil, taken from their soil, and brought and taken away from that for that person to come and say, hey, this is what has happened and we need to have it acknowledged, if nothing else. Welcome to Sierra Leone, like
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But guys, guys, hit the like button again. Please hit the like button. Also make sure you share. Let me read. So shout out to African Goddess for the 2,000 naira. I can go get me some suya, a couple skewers of suya when I go back to Nigeria. I appreciate you, African Goddess. Your play, the project, we watched the teaser of it before we came on. Like tell us about the play. And my,
and so
my cameo I might make, you know what I mean? I might pull up, make a cameo,
well, I would hope you would. That would be great. Basically, my play is definitely what we are going through now. In the teaser that you opened up this segment with, she basically said, you have 3 generations to undo what I have done. You must bring somebody that was taken from the soil, reunite with somebody that is of the soil, remembering the song, and bring them back to the soil in order for the curse to be broken. And so if you look at the way that those that were taken from the soil, right? And just this whole thing that's keeping us apart in order in preventing us from connecting with each other. That's basically what my play is about. Just remembering the song, remembering the call home. Um, I think if you look at it, and I always tell people in Sierra Leone, don't think that every Black American, if you would give passports to everybody, every Black American would run to Sierra Leone. And we have propaganda on both sides, right? But for those who do hear that calling of our ancestors to reunite and to bring your ancestors back to this side of the soil, to correct what has gone wrong, to mend what is broken, then this play would for you, this play would resonate for you. But if you want to continue to be disconnected and be distracted and be divisive, then it's probably won't be the play for you because it's definitely about hearing that call home and coming back together, reconnecting, restoring, and remembering.
You have a website for the play?
We have Facebook pages. I have Facebook. I
Give
have
me
a
give me
TikTok
the
page.
give me the Facebook page real quick. We'll pull it up. Does it have the dates and all the information for it or?
Yes, so the dates are May 1st, 2026,
I'm
and
on I'm
June
on it right
2nd.
now. I'm about to pull it up. I'm about to share it right now.
Okay.
And guys, what we'll do here in about 4 or 5 minutes, we'll open the lines up. You guys can call in and ask a question. So Song of Njama, that's the Facebook page. So you guys can go there and learn more about the play, if you're in Freetown and if you want to check it out, Friday, May 1st, 3 p.m. Sierra Leone time. But you know, we black folks, that probably means 6 p.m. But get there at 3. Get there at
Well,
3.
actually, the 3 p.m. is more or less like a preview. So we are inviting local schools in the area. We are really this year. The Minister of Tourism has proclaimed 2026 to be the year of creativity and culture. For myself, I said this is the year of storytelling, and so with this play, this is what I'm doing as far as storytelling is concerned. So I'm inviting local schools who may not have the opportunity to be able to see this type of play that we're putting on. And so that first show is just for them and other people that may have organizations and may want their kids to come and see it as well.
You
And so
have
then
three
the
generations
actual
to end what I
My bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
and so the actual premiere is at 7 p.m.
Okay. Okay. Let's play this
have begun.
trailer.
Only a son or daughter must hear your song in the land I now rule. If they fail, as you know, Jama will be swallowed by time and lost forever.
No! What have I done?
All right. So what I'll do, because I would really love to come, but I don't know if I can.
I would love for you to
I
come so
will.
you can
I
make your
will.
cameo.
What I will do, I will buy 3, maybe 4 general admission tickets, and we could raffle them off, raffle them off, or whatever. That's what I'll do. I will
Diners, you need
contribute.
to buy the premium. We're good on the general admission.
Hey, again, I will buy 3 or 4 nosebleed seats. Nosebleeds.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. I mean,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you
I will
I'm not
definitely
offended
make.
about
I will make my contribution, and then you guys can raffle or whatever you want to do, or maybe somebody's in the chat who's watching this is in Sierra Leone. Hit me up.
it.
We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. I'll make sure on me. I'll get some tickets and get some booties in the seats. You know,
Because
that's what we'll do.
definitely like the nosebleed seats are $8. And
Mhm.
so if you would pay gold, that's like 16, and then premium is 25, and VIP
All right.
is
So if it's 8,
65.
okay. So I will buy 5 of the nosebleed seats. 5 of the nosebleed
No
seats.
problem.
You got me down for
No
5.
problem. Thank
In
you.
fact,
I appreciate
round it up. Make it 6. We'll make it 6. We'll just round it up and make it 6.
it.
So
Okay,
I
so
got
6 tickets
6 tickets. Give me a
for
cash
both
app,
nights.
whatever.
For both nights.
One night
For
for right now.
May
For one night.
1st and this June 6th. I got you down. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. All right, guys. Here goes Passport King. Passport King, be nice, okay? Oh boy. Go ahead. Be nice, Passport King. Go ahead.
Just 1 second. Sorry about that. Had to adjust my headphones so I don't blow out my eardrums. Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Loud and
Good
clear.
afternoon.
Very good. You know, let me. You know me. I'm like, well, you Africans know you got a lot of wild animal cats. So I'm like one of those big apex predator cats. I go right from the jugular. So that's always the best way to do it. Let's go to the main point I want to make. Since last week, since the Ghanaian president, what's his last name?
Mahama. Is it Mahama?
Yeah, Mahama. See, people been trying to clown FBAs. I know people have been protesting and not liking what he said and like, oh, we don't understand. He's just trying to get a resolution. Ghana's not trying to get any money. That's a lie because I posted already a couple of times in the main chat and I'm going to drop it here for StreamYards, an article piece that John Muhammad wrote. Now, we're not going to read through the whole thing because we don't got time, but I'm going to skip down 11 paragraphs. Here we go. At the heart of this effort is a commitment to partnership, blah, blah, blah. The process of visioning one of the engagement is to bring together state institute. Okay, here we go. Bringing together states, institutions, scholarships, community to explore the constructive and forward-looking approaches to reparatory justice. What does that sound like? Let's read the next sentence. These may include investments, well, that's financial and education, health, cultural, restoration, and economic opportunities, designs that close enduring gaps and build shared prosperity. So that right there proves that everyone that's been calling FBAs and others liars that have been saying that this has been a scam that the Ghanaian president is trying to do to try to finesse money for reparation. This is his article, his words, published in The Guardian. So now you got two options. You either admit that this is a hit piece, that The Guardian published it under his name, he has nothing to do with it, and he's somehow being deframed, or two, you admit that FBAs and others was right. We called out that, I'm trying to be respectful, but that con man for trying to drag us into the reparations debate we had no authority to, and I don't give a damn about no Al Sharpton. He's not the president of Black America, and nor is that other clown, Dr. Umar Johnson. This has been nothing more than trying to finesse money. I'm going to land there because I want to be repeating myself ad nauseum, but that's the smoking guns. The president of Ghana's own words right there. And free anyone, take the floor. Now call me crazy and say FBAs, we've been out of pocket.
You want to respond, Dory, or you want me to pass the mic to Larry?
I mean, like I said, for me, I would definitely, living here in Sierra Leone and not a person who has, not a person that has always just been one of the people that's been studying let me just sum it up. This divisiveness is not going to get us anywhere. If we feel that, first of all, I think it's ludicrous to believe that reparations would be paid by United States or anybody, and especially in our lifetime. I don't see that happening, and I don't think that people should stop fighting for it. But I also think that it's a waste of time. There was a 10-point reparative justice bulletin paper document that was presented that went along with his resolution and what they voted. I think one of them was reparative justice, the other was policy. And to me, everything else is something that the Black community would get together and stop looking outside of ourselves, that we would be able to achieve every last one of them. But as long as we're fighting each other and looking outside of our collective group, then we'll always be like this. We'll be like this 30, 40 years down the line, still fighting each other. But the day that we wake up and say, okay, this happened to us, and it's only us that's going to mend the bridges that were broken purposely, still to this day purposely, I think we'll always be like this, and there's no reason for us to be angry. And if we're angry, we need to be angry at ourselves for not coming together. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Larry.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Your mic is nice and crisp and loud.
Brilliant.
Go ahead.
Brilliant. I don't. Pleasure to hear from you, Dory. Grateful for the information you provided, especially about March the 25th. You said it was International Slavery. I've forgotten the words. I didn't know about that. In regards to the argument about funds, I don't even understand why people are wasting time, because as you know, Dynast, with that UN resolution, if you can call it a resolution, there were a number of countries that refused to acknowledge it. One of those countries was the United States of America. So the idea that somehow all this money is going to come from the US and will somehow not arrive in the hands of Black Americans is a pointless discussion, because the US ain't taking part anyway. And I think Israel was the other country as well that refused to acknowledge it. So it's like, I've never understood why for the last couple of days, people are like jumping on the bandwagon to complain about Ghana when their own homeland, their own government, which they probably voted for the president, has said, nope, we're not going to acknowledge this. So, but they don't seem to have any smoke for the US government or something. It's like Ghana. I mean, I'm not a Ghanaian, so I don't have any dog in this fight, but I have to admit, I did feel sorry for the president, because I saw footage of him where he mentioned the very thing we're talking about, where he said he was surprised to hear about this idea that Ghana was just trying to scam people. It goes to show you that a lot of these discussions we see online, they're not just online or social media. They're crossing boundaries and becoming part of the mainstream, which makes the discussion, as I said, even more stupid, because the US has refused to acknowledge it. So coming for Ghana is like, plus it wasn't just Ghana. I think it was Ghana, CARICOM, and there were some other organizations that were all trying to come together to try and help the diaspora within the Americas, not just the United States of America, because abducted West Africans didn't just end up in the US. They ended up all over Central America, South America, the Dutch Caribbean, French Caribbean. But somehow this is now becoming a discussion about FBAs, which I don't know. I mean, it's your channel. You can do what you want. But in the greater scheme of things, the FBA complaint is irrelevant, because the US is not going to pay. The US is not even going to acknowledge it. And plus, FBAs aren't the only people who are descendants of abducted West Africans in the Americas. And that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Yo, Dinus, let me chime back in real quick, because see, there's a lot of disingenuous and gaslighting going on. First and foremost, no disrespect to your sister. I want to say your name wrong. I made a statement based on evidence. I hate when people reply, oh, you're angry at Africa, he played this the last time. Why you don't like Africans? As soon as people don't have an argument, they go for these little red herring straw man arguments. And go to this gentleman here. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Aleph, whatever. I'm gonna say it. I'm not trying to butcher your name intentionally, so my apology for butchering your name. We're not saying that other nations of the diaspora can't bring reparations. If CARICOM, Brazil, whatever other countries of the Western Hemisphere want to work with Ghana, FBAs aren't saying y'all can't do that. That's none of our business. What we're saying is we don't appreciate trying to drag us into it. It was bigger than just Ghana going to, I wish they would have kept the original name, but I know why they had to rename it. I'm going to still call it by the old name, the Negro Burial Ground, to do that little janky ceremony. When he was giving that speech in the UN, he talked about Africans pick cotton. No, those are the ancestors of FBAs. If you don't want to call them FBA, you could call them free men, because the black people in America who wasn't enslaved, they was known as free men or free men. We can go that term. We used to be called Negro, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. That's a whole nother problem. Thanks to the first so-called black President Obama signed that legislation that killed the term Negro. So the federal government hasn't recognized the term Negro, which was a legal classification for people, up into the Obama administration when they signed that law. So that's what we got a problem with. We're not saying that the Caribbean, Brazil, or anyone else wants to work with Africa. You don't need our permission. Go right ahead. Don't drag FBAs in it. Don't try to use us to run a scam. If CARICOM, Brazil, and other countries got no problem with Ghana running a scam and taking that's none of our business. All we're saying
can I say one thing? I am an FBA.
Go ahead. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'm definitely an FBA. Like I said, I was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio. Slavery was abolished in 1865. My people showed up on the census in 1870. So you don't speak for all quote unquote foundational Black Americans. Me and other people were happy that President Maluma.
I tell you what, it's not just FBAs. There's people who, no disrespect, man. There's people who are not. Have you been on TikTok? There's people who aren't FBAs on TikTok who is very, I want to use profanity, who was very ticked off at what Ghana tried to pull. Not just people claiming FBA. We're talking young people, old people. There was way more people against it before. Like, wait a minute, why is Ghana trying to meddle in our affairs? It wasn't like, oh,
They're
yeah,
not
Ghana
trying to, but listen,
us.
what would make you think that Ghana was not affected? Let me tell you something. My husband is a Sierra Leonean. When you pull up his ancestry DNA, he has 3. No, listen. Okay. No, but listen. Listen. He has 3 lineages, right? He has 3. He is Mali, Senegal, 1% North African. When you go into his matches, his very first match is his cousin. We know her. It's like 3rd cousin removed or whatever. Every other page where he is connected to are Black Americans. I went through them. And so when you sit there and you say that Ghana was not affected, or Sierra Leone was not affected by the transatlantic slave trade, you're delusional. Because there's precedent, there's scientific.
I didn't say Ghana wasn't affected. Let's put it in the proper context. Was Ghana affected?
So let me ask you one more question.
Hold on. What Mike? Passport King, Dory's our special guest. So
okay, my mistake. Okay, ask your question.
And so what I'm saying to you is, if you can sit there and I can tell you or show you by DNA, because DNA don't lie, that they were also affected. And if you came and stayed in West Africa more than a year or 2, you would see that they are still affected by colonization and everything that has happened after the transatlantic slave trade. And so for you to sit up there, or anybody to sit up there and say that this Ghanaian president should not come out and speak up against the people that were stolen from this soil, to me, I don't agree. And I don't think that when people say, and this is another thing, when you say things like this, you're putting it out as this is the golden rule for everybody, for all Black people. Everybody does not think like that. That's all I have to say.
Okay, let me answer that. First of all, you know the president of Ghana himself, he's a descendant from a tribe that was involved in the slave trade in Ghana. He's a direct descendant. So his people, so that's what makes it even more disgustingly, I won't say hilarious, ironic too. Yes, was Ghana affected? Yes. Let me give you a quick analogy how it was affected. It's like a bank robbery happened, right? And in this fictional scenario, Ghana was a part of the bank robbery, and they don't like their cut of the stolen gains. They feel like they should have gotten more. That's how Ghana was affected. They are not.
All right, I got to pass the mic.
Wait. Can I just respond to him? He said something to me.
Larry, let me read the super chat first. Gustavo for $5 holla. They say if you want to hide something from Black folk, put it in a book. Folks haven't even taken time to read the resolution, just finding online. All right, go ahead, Larry. Larry, you got 30 seconds. I got to pass the mic.
Thanks very much. So in regards to what Passport King has said, or what any other FBA who thinks like him is about to say, I leave you with this message, which I said originally. You have nothing to fear. It's a silver lining, because there were countries who refused to acknowledge it. And one of those countries is your country, the US. So you don't have to worry about any money coming from the US and going to Africans, because your country's government has refused to acknowledge it. So you should be happy.
All right, let me pass the mic to go ahead, Kunta. Unmute yourself, Kunta. Unmute yourself, Kunta. One more time. Unmute yourself, Kunta. Okay. All right, go ahead, Big Bobo. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, here's the thing, from what I'm hearing, something that we need to realize is that some of our people, they got a Wakanda fantasy, not trying to disrespect anybody, but they think it's something over there, or we steal from there or something. So, we'll be talking in circles, we'll just be talking in circles. Everybody can't let that go. Ain't nothing special about being in Africa. The special stuff is over here. Another thing, I'm glad that America rejected that scam. Our problem as Black Americans, our whole problem with the whole thing is that don't come to our ancestors' burial ground with that. Don't bring that. There ain't no reason. You could have did that anywhere. You did not have to stand there. You strategically picked that place. You did not have to go there. At the end of the day, Ghana is new. That's what the guy what was his name, Dan something, whoever spoke on behalf of America. That's what he said. He like these countries weren't even there. It's a vague he used vague attachment. Ghana, my mama is in her 70s. She's older than Ghana. Ghana ain't got nothing to do with us. So all we saying is you have at it. If you feel like you deserve reparations for something great, go for it. Do what you gotta do. Knock yourself out. But don't pull us into it. Don't come over here and stand on our ancestors' burial ground, because at the end of the day, West Africans, they definitely had something to do with it. They definitely was a part of it. They sold people too. Let's be clear. It wasn't like stolen, like they want to make it seem like the white man just went into the interior of Africa and he started taking people out. No, the Africans were complicit. They got castles still there right now. The president of Ghana apologized about them being complicit. So how you gonna apologize about doing something wrong and act like you got did wrong at the same time? The jig is up. The jig is up. So that's where I'm at with it. Appreciate y'all letting me speak.
Thank you.
Dory, you want to respond? I'll pass it to Africa. You want to respond, Dory?
I mean, because this is the way I am. In 2022 or 2023, I felt like this land, this soil was calling her children home to it. 2025, I feel like we completely shifted. I don't argue with people that have that feeling. I know it's nothing for me to say. Is that I was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio. I would be considered a foundational Black American, and they do not speak for me.
Dory, what do you think? Dory, what do you think? Hold on, I'll pass back to you. Dory, what do you think caused the shift? Because I noticed that too. Like I've really noticed it in the last about year and a half, 2 years.
I think when people started deconstructing Christianity, you start tapping back into African spirituality, the veil is removed. You start seeing things for who they really are, what they really are. You see people dividing us on purpose, and it's easier for us we can go further if we are together. But you purposely see people that are dividing us, and for what? At the end of the day, I mean, there's definitely people that are fighting for reparations, but America's not going to give you reparations. And why are we begging them for reparations? We have everything that we need collectively within ourselves. We are highly intelligent people. So why are we begging anybody for reparations? And why do we feel like they are going to give us something? So we're fighting for something that's never even going to come to us. That's all.
All right, go ahead, Vovo. Then I'll pass it to Africa.
Yeah, I think she's partially right. Ghana ain't getting no reparations. They ain't about to pay Ghana for you complicit. Like, yeah, that's silly because you look similar to the people. Because you dark skinned.
Nobody. They're not paying anybody. They're not paying anybody.
Because you dark.
But let me tell you,
that's not correct.
But let me tell you one thing.
Can I finish, ma'am? Ain't nobody cut you off, ma'am. Here's the thing, right? Just because you look similar. It's people that I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. My family been in Cleveland, Ohio for 126 years in the same neighborhood. I'm in Kentucky right now, currently, but I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm here on business in Kentucky, but so that doesn't give you any trump card because you're a foundational Black American. Well, right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm a foundational Black American. Right is right and wrong is wrong. If foundational Black Americans do something wrong, I call that out too. If Ghana do something wrong, I call that out too. Ghana's wrong. They sold people. They were complicit. Ghana wasn't even a thing in the 1800s. How they just gonna pop up now and then be like, yeah, what's up? Y'all need some money too. What are you with the guy that spoke on behalf of America? What he said, how can you even determine who it's gonna go to? They don't got no good records today. So all it's gonna be is just more aid that they gonna squander. We ain't got nothing to do with that. Like we delineate. I'm gonna close with this, right? We delineated foundational Black Americans. We delineated from lineage. We also have to delineate from ideology too. You can't talk to somebody that think just because another group is melanated, we the same.
Amen. Amen. That's where we definitely agree.
Okay, let me pass the mic to Africa. Go ahead, Africa.
Yeah, greetings, Dinus, everyone on the panel and the chats. Yeah, like, share, and support. First of all, it's looking at the sister. You fit 100% Sierra Leonean. 100%. You look like the children of the great Mali Empire. You fit the phenotype. Sis. It's a good thing that you're back and connected to your people. I really appreciate that, and that's what a lot of these brothers here should be doing instead of differentiating themselves, to their people. We need less division. You're definitely right. We need more unity, less division. That's one aspect on my topic where I'm coming from today. But there's a little bit. There's something I sense here, within the African American community, which I understand also, right? Is having to see the people who were heavily contributed in slavery, heavily involved, for example, like a country like Ghana, in terms of reparation, but the way they're doing it is making them feel quite suspicious. We need to understand that also from their point of view, right? Because these are the people that sold them to slaves, to the West, and these are the same people that are coming around and asking for reparation. I haven't read into the details whether it's it's whether it's a moral issue. I think it's a moral issue. There's no legality in it because as far as America and Europe is concerned, there's nothing legal about it because for them to actually be held accountable, because they're saying when slavery happened, slavery was legal at those days. That's one of the reasons why they're sitting back. Yes, I mean, Ghana also didn't help themselves the way they carried it out. I don't think they actually taught it out properly. And whoever advised them, I don't think they were really helpful in this case, because this is supposed to be, a guilt. That's what I'm thinking. I hope Ghana is doing this because they feel guilty and they want to do something about it, and that's why they got involved. And not for personal gain, because if it's for personal gain, then they definitely are trying to divide the black race. I can guarantee you that, because it's already manifests itself, based on how people are responding to it, and yeah. So I think we should stop blaming Ghana for bringing it up. As I said the last time, we have, America, you have African American, senators, black caucusing Democrats, and also you have African Americans who voted for the Republicans. Okay, I live in the UK. We know how these things works. These people are more to be held accountable for not standing up for reparation than a country like Ghana, who is doing it on their own. So yeah. So the reality is, let's have a right, rational mind here and how we deal with this, instead of having to be too emotional about it moving forward. So I think, the African Americans, some of them have a point, and also they should just be patient and take their time, look at stuff, and moving forward, how this is going to manifest itself, instead of having to, denigrate the guy who is trying to stand up for them, as far as we're concerned. Okay, so that's my take on it. But time will tell. But if Ghana is really serious about reparation, and African government are really serious about, this, they should lead an example and say, look, we have done this so far for the African Americans. Okay, from our side, we were involved in slavery. So what are you guys going to do? In a moral point of view, that would be a good thing and a good start, where they can go to America and say, or to the United Nations, saying, right, we as Africans, this is what we did. It was wrong. This is what we're going to do to correct it. Okay. So what are you going to do about this? Like, for example, you are in Sierra Leone. Okay. Sierra Leone are one of the few small countries who offered citizenship, without any personal incentive. Sierra Leone wasn't giving citizenship to African Americans because of anything to gain from it. They did it because of the history and the connection that they have to the people. Because we know the Maroons from Jamaica are one of the first people who settled in that country, and from Canada, and they integrated well. You hear people speak Creole in Sierra Leone and all the way to the, coastal regional African nation like Nigeria, they speak Pidgin. These are the legacies of those people that arrived in Freetown. And also, you probably know about the relics at the moment. It's quite big in Freetown. There's a media platform, Truth Media, that I follow. They started showing some of the relics of the history of the legacy of transatlantic slavery. They're trying to raise more awareness of it. I think that is coming from, this reparation talk, which is already quite a good outcome in some aspects. But I think countries like Sierra Leone and Liberia should be leading this, to be honest with you. I'm surprised they're not leading this instead of Ghana, because they have been the country that have been proven to be the people who actually can do something for African American, or who also have done for the African American and Caribbeans in the diaspora, with a good intent. I think if they lead this course, like His Excellency the President of Sierra Leone and the one in Liberia, they should actually take the baton of John Mahama and say, look, we have these people in our country. We're the home of African Americans and Caribbeans in West Africa. We know the history very well. We have been proven to deal with this, in a right way. Can we talk? Can we talk about this? I think John Mahama should have included those two presidents of West Africa, the Sierra Leonean and Liberian president, into this instead of going there on his own, because I think he didn't talk this well properly, to be honest. So yeah, let's work together as brothers and sisters. Let's not divide each other, because there's more to gain.
30 seconds, and I'll pass the mic.
Okay, no problem. There's more to gain, than to lose in this. Okay. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you.
All right, my kind of mind. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm back.
Hi.
I'm so happy for this topic. And please, Dinus, can you give me a little time to cook, like what you just gave the sir before me?
Go ahead.
No interruptions. Okay, so for one, we need reparations. And I don't want us to lose sight of that or lose hope. Because yes, Africa is amazing. We have all the resources. We have everything, like my sister said. But they still owe us, right? And we're going to keep BTA because they still owe us. And I feel like they owe us for the trauma and the hard work of my ancestors. They owe us. And we're going to get our reparations. And this is where we're like at a perfect spot right now, because the fact that they're even talking about it and did a voting about it, I feel like God, like I didn't know this day would come, and it's happening. So what I want to say is, and this is to my big point, and I think I've been saying it every time I called in, this is where Africa needs to come together, because look at the meeting that just happened and no one was able to vote for America. One, I'm in America. We don't have anyone to fight for us. That's why I said, Africa, unite. Africa, come together so you could fight for us. We need a group, a council, a union, just one, not Ghana separate from Sierra Leone. We need a united kingdom of Africa with a president, with a vice president, with a secretary of state, just like kind of how we run America. We need a government that could fight for the diaspora, that could fight for me in America, that America would have voted. America would have had one of those votes for what just happened. But this just speaks to my point that we do not have anyone fighting for us. And that's why it can't be Ghana against Sierra Leone, against West Africa, against, Zimbabwe. It needs to be one. Because when it's one, that's when they're going to respect us. Right now, they're dropping all these things to make us fight against each other. Oh, I don't know if they're really in the slave trade. Once you're black, once you have color black or brown, you get in reparations because the trauma. And I actually have a solution for reparations. So if they don't know how to do it, there's a solution. But basically, for the solution to occur, we still need to come together as one. Because if they do decide to give us reparation, it's going to be this billion to Ghana, this billion to Sierra Leone. Like, it's going to be too much separation. We need to come together so there could be an order to when they do give out the reparations. And I'm going to stay on the panel because I don't want to give my plan for the reparations. We'll get into that. But I just feel like we're still fighting against each other. I just feel like we're losing sight of what needs to happen at this time. And what needs to happen at this time is the one president of Africa. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but we need to have a union, like how there used to be an NAACP or the Black Panthers. There needs to be a union that stands up for the Black people in America. There needs to be the United Kingdom of Africa that's running the government in Africa. There could still be presidents of each country in Africa because Africa's humongous. But we still need to have that overhead, like that one appoint person. You want to do something with the Black people, you want to give money, whatever it is that they want to do, there's like one person, one appointed person. So it's not, oh, we could undercut and go to that corrupt president. We could undercut over here and say we did something and give to that corrupt president. No, let's cut all of that out and unite. Okay? I think, I think that's most of it.
Okay, go ahead. Dory, you want to respond, and I'll pass it to kid over.
The only thing that I have to say, I think once we get off this call, we have to be very, very, very clear. There has been March 25th every single year. There has been the Remembrance Day, the International Day of Remembrance for the victims of the transatlantic slave trade. That has been going on since 2008, right? And so in 2006 or 7, what just happened last Wednesday happened that many years ago for the victims of the Holocaust. They put it on record that this was a crime, this was a grave crime against humanity, right? And so when you're talking about United Nations, when the president of Ghana came here, he came here representing all of the West African countries that were a part of the slave trade. So it's not just something that he came over and said. So what he basically did was, if you're having this superficial day every March 25th, and it's nothing on record, it's just something on a piece of paper, now you countries need to vote for this because this is what happened. And this was a heinous crime. And then to my brother over here, if he laid the wreath where at the burial ground, they did DNA testing. They not only DNA testing, but they did artifacts. The bodies had waist beads, and they came from particular places in Africa. And so if you think that this whole transatlantic slave trade was concocted by them, then you don't know.
Why did he apologize?
You don't. I'm sorry.
Why did he apologize for slavery? Why did the president?
Our president apologized. Our president apologized for anything that this country played a part in.
No. He made
a formal apology.
Yeah. Donis.
An apology is not enough. Ghana owes reparations.
No, what I'm saying is this. No, hold on, brother. Before we go away from this point, why would he apologize if you're not complicit? If I ain't do nothing, I'm not about to apologize. I ain't got nothing to apologize for. So why did he apologize?
And to add on to your point, hold on. If Ghana's giving reparation, let's say you talk about their old harm, right? You're basically rewarding criminals. At least the descendant of criminals who sold Africa. That's basically what you're saying. And no disrespect to the sister, my kind of mind. Let me say this real quick. I was with you most of the way, but when you said that all Black people, you didn't say it exactly like them, I'm paraphrasing, or owe reparations because of harm or they somehow suffered. That is 100% incorrect. What that would do is take reparations that should be lineage based. I'm not saying CARICOM don't deserve reparations. That's their fight. I'm not saying Brazil don't deserve reparation. That's their fight. But when it comes to U.S. slavery descendants, i.e. freemen, aka foundational Black Americans, our reparations is lineage based. We're not going to do all lives matter with reparations. You know what's going to happen? That's going to become affirmative action all over again. Then all these other groups who not even descended of slaves get included, and then we get nothing. That's what happened with affirmative action. That was supposed to be specific for when our people was called Negroes then, for redress for the historic wrongs of post-slavery, segregation, redlining, job discrimination, land theft, predatory loans. So when finally we got the Affirmative Action Act in 1964, they said, well, you know what? These other groups, they're not white. We should include them too because, I don't know, we guess they had a hard time. And wait a minute, white women, they've been discriminated against too. Whatever they dealt with, it wasn't done by Black people. Well, you know what? We got to include white women too. What you just stated is going to be all lives matter for affirmative action, and the people that should get it lineage-wise, we won't get a cent because it'll be going to Black immigrants. It'll be going to the Chinese. It'll be going to Native Americans. Heck, even Jewish Holocaust survivors, they'll somehow get reparations where they already got something separate. So we're not going to play this all lives matter, at least for the United States, lineage based. That cuts out all the nonsense.
I gotta pass the mic. Go ahead, Kidola. Let me yourself, Kidola.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. You know, I've been listening to everything. I'm totally the opposite side. You see, if United States economy was not booming, would anybody be referring to United States as source of Black people that took away from West Africa? Hell no. We have other Blacks. We should not center the whole thing with the Blacks in the United States. There are Puerto Ricans, Africans also. There are Guatemala, Ecuador, all the way down to Brazil and all those things. Even the Ghana that has promoted this thing, I can understand. If you go to Suriname, if you go to the Maroons over there, they still speak the language over there. Why must you be centering things with just United States Black? That's not important. They're not part of you anymore. If you listen to them, you understand. You see, when somebody told me, oh, the white Americans are very big racist people, I will tell you, hell no, man. Because you speak also the same way too, like them too. You understand? So we should understand. That's how we're brothers. What brothers are we really? We no longer know brothers. I don't understand who they took, who they did take away. But for those Africans that somehow see themselves as Africans in some of these South American, Africans should be more, okay, like Brazil. You can see as light skin as hell as Brazilian, it will tell you, oh man, don't take that. I'm an African. You understand me? Serving this their God. Some of them be passed over by their great-grandfather or mothers is a pure African. So we have to understand, Ghana man made a very big mistake. I think they did teach him well. The hatred that is coming for Black Americans did come now. It always been there for a very long time. Even the Africans that came in to study in the 1970s experienced it the first time. Only that there was no media to bring out people like this FBA you see now and everything. There's no need. You don't have to start beating the drum. Oh man, they are not emotionally attached to Africans or African. They just see you. There's one program that said the guy said, I have a fetal African blood in me. I hate that can be that somebody say you have a fetal African blood in him. That is the mindset of these people. You don't joke with them, let them do. They are on their own race, they're their own people. They can dance with the Latinos, ain't no problem about that. But treat them like, okay, these are people who on their own. That so-called B1, oh man, I'm your brother, Black man. Okay, I treat you like individually. I'll see you first the way I dance with you. So we should be very, very careful. I think the Ghana might have a very big mistake. The mistake is by even inviting them called year of return. Big problem. That gives us all Africa a very big problem now. We start seeing people like the Tariq Rashid, who were Pan-Africanism, come back to be Africa's most hated Black man. I swear to God, if I haven't seen that guy in Africa or anywhere in Africa, I would have said, "Bonfucker, bought your ticket and get fucked out of this place." You understand me? But they didn't know about India. But thank God, the president of Ghana started not seeing it. that stupid year of return, we don't really understand that most Africans are paying the price, and this heavy hatred that coming like that, you know, that will trickle to other African leaders and other honorary Africans, so that we should understand. We will not miss you people if you people are gone. That's just the truth, brother. Let me stop there.
Okay. Dory, I was gonna say, if you you know, whenever you want to log off, but you're more than welcome to stay as long as you want to, Dory. But if
No,
you
how long?
well, I mean, we gonna stay on for you know, we usually on for a minute, but you know, it's, you know, whenever you get ready to, you know, log off, so we could, you know, make sure everybody play.
You have your Sierra Leone brother here to represent you if you're not here. Don't worry.
Okay, no problem. But yeah, I probably will log off. But like I said, I just want to say that this has definitely been. If he came here as a representative of West Africa, basically saying that if you're as a UN, United Nations, that is located in New York, which is in America, if you're going to have this type of day, you should treat it the same way that you have treated the Holocaust. There should be a vote. And so all of this other thing is because I really feel that we as Black Americans, nobody has really told our side of the story. And it would behoove us to start telling our side of the story. And that does not mean that we have to disconnect from source, from our ancestors, from the soil and where they were taken from. I think a lot of times, if some of our ancestors could hear the way that we talk, I think that they would not be very pleased with us. So with that, thank you, Dinus, and I think I am going to go now. So everybody have a good day. Thank you, Dinus, again. And hopefully
No problem.
everybody is in Sierra Leone, they can come and see all the time.
No problem, guys. Make sure you support. Go to Song of Njama on Facebook. All right, the play is coming soon. Make sure you check it out. Subscribe. Follow Song of Njama on Facebook, you guys. We appreciate you, Dory.
Thank you, Dory.
Dinus. Bye.
Even if I don't agree, I respect.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Truth teller, you unmute yourself.
Hey, gentlemen. How y'all doing? I'm sorry I missed her because I wanted to ask her some questions, but you know, I know she has things to do. So I'll ask the panel. I got really 3 questions.
Well, Dory, you're still on. Are you have time to ask the questions, or you got to go? Dory, I don't know.
It's that Sierra Leonean electricity. It's crazy.
Go ahead, truth teller. Go ahead.
All right. Well, first off, just to correct on something she said, our ancestors here in the United States actually did say how they felt about being called Africans, and they said they're not called Africans. So that's part of our history, by the way. Second, I wanted to ask, is these African nations responsible for the Atlantic slave trade? That's the first question. The second question, did they benefit from the slave trade? And then the third question, how should they go about making up for their involvement? Anybody want to take a stab at the 3?
Yep. No problem at all.
I can start if you want.
Hold on, let me say this. I'm gonna go real fast. They work implicit because they apologize. That's just, you can't deny that. You can never take that away. They apologize. So that means they work implicit. Did they benefit? I mean, in the long run, no. You know what I mean? In the long run, no. That's why they coming back now, because they want some of that LeBron James, some of that Denzel Washington, some of that hip hop. They want to get on some of that now. But it's too late for that. You can't come back now.
Well,
so,
is that the slave trade? Wait. I don't think that's the
what I'm
slave
saying
trade
is that
because
imagine if they didn't sell their people. Imagine if they didn't sell the Usain Bolts. Imagine if they didn't sell their people. If they didn't, and they would have been working with their people. In the short term, they got a bunch of umbrellas and mirrors and shiny things, little shiny dumb shit, dumb shit. But at the end of the day, they the laughing stock of the planet. They didn't get nothing. So yeah, so in the short term, they got mirrors and shiny rocks. And at the end of the day, fast forward to 2026, they still poor. Every single African country is a third world country.
All right, go to Larry. Go to Larry. Let me pass it to Larry. Go to Larry.
Oh, thanks. I was going to say they weren't nations, but they were kingdoms that definitely, in my opinion, were complicit. They took part in it. There were also kingdoms that didn't take part, but they were very powerful kingdoms that did take part and did profit from it. You also had middlemen, people from other tribes who decided to get involved in capturing people and marching them all the way to the beaches. So you had middlemen from various tribes. So to me, the idea of people receiving reparations from that part of the world is not a far-fetched idea. It makes sense. But I'm not a Black American, but I think the Black Americans just need a very powerful organization of their own that can lobby Congress to
That ain't gonna happen.
Okay. Well, I think the closest they came to that was when Malcolm X was planning to do that, but then
Can I follow up with a question with what you're saying? Because she mentioned something similar. What makes y'all think y'all could be our representative? Aren't we ahead of y'all in almost every arena?
So what I would say to that is, I don't know whether you didn't hear what I said properly, but you should have your own thing that represents you. West Africans shouldn't be representing you. So
well, no, I understand. Wait, hold on before you finish. Well, I need you to clarify.
Yeah.
Why would Africans think they can represent us as Black Americans?
The ones who think that they can represent you are deluded. They can't represent you because you both have different experiences. You're not even the same people anymore, hundreds of years down the line. You're different cultures. So for them to think that they can represent you is a complete delusion. I don't know who got that into their head to do that. So, but like I said,
especially with such heavy tribal warfare in the African continent, and right in Nigeria, you got different. Now we look at them, we say they're Nigerians, but they say no, we this tribe, they're that tribe, we this religion, that religion. And it's not like, okay, we're gonna sit down and have some, since y'all are a part of the British Commonwealth, y'all not gonna have the African version of tea and crumpets and have a civil discussion. Y'all will hack each other up with machetes, pull AK-47s over your religious differences. And that's not me making a joke. That's going on right now in the African continent.
In Nigeria's defense, I would say in Nigeria's defense, when it comes to West Africa, Nigeria is probably the least Pan-African, least pro-Black West African nation you will find. So
I want to actually go in a different. I want to go in a different direction. Right. What y'all normally go into. So the reason why I asked that question that way, as far as Black people on this planet, we are far and ahead of all of y'all. What makes you think you can show us the way to get any of this when you haven't even approached it in a fraction of the way we have? We've built cities, we've built towns, we've had them destroyed, we've rebuilt them.
We the reason why you got reparations on your lips.
So
not only that, hold on, there's more. So because nobody ever speaks this.
No, actually, I got to pass the mic to Free Game next. Free Game, we're waiting.
Okay,
I'll make this quick then. We're the ones that were educated when it was law that we shouldn't be able to read or be educated. We fought through that. We went to colleges. We invented thousands of things that the world uses. We literally built a superpower, a first world country. Why would anyone from anywhere else think they can tell us how to approach anything?
Don't you
find that absolutely disrespectful?
All right, let Larry respond, and I got past the Free Game. Go to Larry. You got 30 seconds.
Yep.
So I would thanks, Dinas. I would agree to everything you've said, that you guys are brilliant. It only begs the question, then why haven't you created a lobbying organization to get your reparations, since you guys are so great?
We do.
We've actually had several. We actually had several. Yeah, we have. They just shoot them down.
We have in Cobra, but there's nothing we can.
No. In Cobra's not us. That's foreign.
Nothing to do with us.
And Cobra is a DNC op. Come on, man. Come on.
It is a DNC op, but they represent the Caribbean. They don't represent the United States.
Okay, let me pass.
So
Let
that's
me
So
pass
who
the mic.
represents you then? Who represents you and who's brought money to you guys?
Larry, I told you we don't have any representation.
Actually,
Oh,
we do.
thank
They're just grassroots.
All right, let me pass the mic to Free Game. Go ahead, Free Game.
Hey, what's up, Don?
Peace.
I thought the Indians had reparations. I thought that's the people that we supposed to be going to for reparations because we not African. Black Americans, FBA, we not African. So I thought we supposed the Indians got our reparations, not the Africans. What we got to do with Africa? I'm confused.
Yeah, you trolling. It's lame, weak trolling. It ain't
I'm
sticking, bro.
confused. I'm confused. I thought we was Indian. I didn't know that we was African.
Bro,
Well,
that's
you
lame and
shouldn't.
weak. It's
Well,
not
no,
working.
I'll help him.
One more.
I'll play along. I'll play along.
Hold on. I'm
Yeah.
not done. We haven't built more than Africans. You don't have your own nation. You don't have your own military or even close to one. You don't
They
have
don't
your own
have their
economy.
own
You don't
military.
have your own money. You don't.
They don't
You
have their own
don't.
money.
You don't have. You don't have any of that.
They
Let him
don't have their
go.
own
Yeah.
money.
There's a major in each African
Let him
each
get on this
African
trolling.
country.
Let him get
It's
this trolling
each
out.
African country have a major city. Y'all don't have that. They run their own economy. Y'all don't have that.
That's what you call running an economy? That's what you
Y'all
call
don't have
running
none of that. Y'all
Let's go,
Africans
Big
have
Cole.
built
Let's
more
finish
than y'all.
trolling. Let him go.
Let him go. Let him go, man. Let him go. Let him go.
We have a $2 trillion GDP. Still can't build anything. Y'all go to liquor stores every weekend, but can't put your money together to get your own little city. You haven't built more than Africans. You haven't. And why are you comparing yourself to an African? You Native American. Go to the Native Americans and see if you can get reparations in.
Free game. Can I ask
Africans,
you one simple
they
question,
did.
please? If you're done
Africans did.
with your opening monologue.
Listen, man. Don't play along with him. Just let him finish talking and move on to the next person.
Yeah, just let him finish that shit, bro.
Africans.
That ain't no
All
reason.
right,
That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing for real. That ain't nothing to
Davis,
consider.
Africans did not speak on the behalf of Black Americans. They're Indian.
That's a lie. But free game. Let me ask you a quick question, real quick.
Bro, why?
Can you name just three
Y'all
inventions?
delineated. Y'all delineated.
Free game. Can you name
Okay.
just three inventions that come out of any African country by an African that's made the modern world we know it what it is today? Name three inventions or innovations.
Metal.
Wait,
He
what?
said metal.
That's all I got. That's all I gotta
So
say.
wait,
Metal.
so metals
You
did
can't
not
live with
exist into Africa.
metals.
Metals. So in other words, every metal in the periodic table of chemistry was invented by
Binary.
Africa.
The binary system. Fiber optic cords.
Really?
He just saying stuff, bro.
Yes.
He just saying
Fiber optic cords are man-made.
No.
Fiber optics are
No.
man-made,
Fiber
sir.
optic cords was made by an African.
Yeah.
Where?
Yes.
And his name on
Where?
Yeah. Do y'all think Black Americans are the only smart people?
No.
No, we didn't say that. What we're asking,
I
we're
was
just
actually
asking you to
just for three.
clarify who
you're saying that
invented fiber optics.
So
I don't know. It's a
Africans
guy
invented
from
metals on
Nigeria.
Earth. So there was no metal on Earth until Africans invented them more. Is that what you're saying?
There was no metal on the planet Earth until Africans smelted it themselves.
So no metals existed anywhere.
There was metals and raw material. You couldn't use it for gardening. You couldn't use it for farming. That's what Africa brought to the world. They brought metal to the world. I don't want to hear none of all that other stuff.
Why was
Y'all
Shaka
didn't invent
Zulu?
metal.
Why was Shaka Zulu fighting with a spear and they was fighting with the Gatling gun and muskets?
And cow shields made from cow.
Yeah, he had cow skin.
guns.
He had cow skin, and they had full bodies of armor.
Let me
But they
finish.
smelted metal.
Let me finish. First of all, the West African in Congo had metal at the time. Y'all don't even know what Bantu the Zulus come from.
Yeah, but I'm saying
later on.
That's the example that we all can see.
Guys, hold on. Give Free Game 30 seconds. No, don't interrupt them. Then I got to pass the mic to King Justice. Go ahead. Free Game, go ahead. Free game. All right, go ahead, King Justice. Unmute yourself.
Cool. You can hear me, bro?
Yes.
All right. First of all, if you are a Native American, you don't qualify for reparations in this case because you should have got yours from the United States government already. This is for descendants of the transatlantic slave trade from Africa. Furthermore, we as Black Americans and any Africans that support us need to stop comparing this situation to Israel, because even though they have gotten 95 billion from Germany since 1952, in 1948, they decided to become a nation. Until we decide to do that, we're not doing anything, and we can't cry about other people stepping up to represent the people that went through the transatlantic slave trade because we haven't formed a nation for ourselves. So that's my opinion on this matter.
No, let me say this, right? It's already in law, actually. We just got to make them honor the promise. Special Field Order 15 was already a law. They just reneged on it. Facts. So now that
I feel you on that, but Special Field Order 15 doesn't apply to all descendants of the transatlantic slave trade or all Black Americans.
We ain't talking about all descendants. We talking about the ones who would do apply to.
No, understand what I'm saying. It applies to those specific to that land in that area at that time. Right. It's not going to apply to the descendants of slaves in Texas and Louisiana.
Yes, it do.
No, it doesn't.
It applies to the freedom.
It applies. All right, guys. Let me hold on. King Justice, you done, or you got anything else you want to add?
Nah, go ahead.
All right, mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in because what King Justice just said kind of applies to us. Like, I don't think we have to build a nation because we have Africa. Like, Africa is a continent. Africa could represent the Black people. So we don't have to do what Israel did and create a nation because we already have Africa. But
my kind of mind, I love you, my sister, but Africa has no leverage to force anybody into giving us or themselves reparations right now. Africa doesn't control one industry in the world. Africa has no superb military. Until Africa has that, and I love Africa, I'm a descendant of Africa, but Africa doesn't have the leverage to force anybody to give us or themselves reparations.
And sir, and I agree with you. So let me finish my point. I want to finish my point because you made a point saying Africans can't fight for us. And I agree with you because Africa still hasn't gotten out of the hands of the white man. Traore is the one kind of doing it, and that's why he's standing out and we're loving him. But Africa was still tied to France, still tangled up. America now, we came from slavery and kind of rose up out of it. We abolished it. So that's what I think the gentleman meant when he said, like, America, the Blacks from America could probably do a better job fighting for the reparations than Africa, because you guys are still fighting against each other and still not even, still not out the white man's hand. So, but I just want to go back to my first point because since Africa is already a nation, if we come, a country, a continent, if we come together under the United Kingdom of Africa, there could still be the 54 countries with their 54 presidents, 55, but we still need to have one, because when we have that one, the United Kingdom of Africa, that's when they could fight for the diaspora. That's when they could advocate for the Black people and even us in America. Because right now with Africa being so divided and still fighting country against country, they're laughing at you guys because you're still not coming together as one. Look how the gentleman called in and said, yeah, you're Native American, right? There's still some Black people that won't even own that Africa's our motherland. Like, it's not that hard.
They African.
Let me say this, right?
They Native American. They not African.
Okay, no, hold on. Without trolling, this whole Wakanda, Africa gonna fight for us, and one day Africa gonna be one big nation. Do you know how big Africa is? These people can't get along right now. This whole Pan-African thing, don't you know that when Marcus Garvey was talking about Pan-Africanism, it wasn't one independent African nation, maybe Ethiopia. But other than that, there wasn't no nation. None of them nations. Nigeria, South Africa.
Liberia existed. Liberia existed, brother.
Oh, Liberia did exist. Yeah, because America.
We know that now, decades later.
No, my thing is this: how you about to unify all these different dialects, all these different languages, all these different tribes, all these different ideologies?
That's what we should talk about then. That's what we should talk about then.
You think that you could just show up in Africa with dark skin and say black power, and all the Africans gonna be like, black power, brother, we unified.
Okay, 1 second.
That
Let me
would
give
be
an
live,
answer.
though.
Let
That
me
would
give
be
an
live.
answer. Can I give an
Oh,
answer?
that'd be
Because right
nice, but
now, I have a question. Right now, do all of the black nations and black countries, do we have a summit where we come together and the leaders from all those
yeah,
Trinidad
there's
and
all
Tobago?
types of African unions and all types of bullshit.
No,
It's
is
all
there a
bullshit.
meeting per year? Is there a
Yes,
meeting
Even if
per
there,
year
oh,
where
yes.
even if there
all
was,
the
that's not
black
FBA's
countries?
business.
What's the
Look,
African Union?
hold on.
And China
The
built it, and
African
China was
Union
putting
only
cameras all
tried that.
spying on
Hold
them.
on 1 second.
Man, get out of
The
here,
African
man.
I
The
got
key
we
word is all. The key word is all.
hold on. We got a new caller. Go ahead, East
It's
Coast
in
Kev.
Kenya.
Go ahead, East Coast Kev.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, thank you for having me. I've been a supporter for like a couple of years. I tried not to call up today, but this dude made me call up. I really tried not to because I'm doing the stock market right now. But anyway, the point that he made about you don't see Africans, uniting and they can't unite on their own continent, he's right. He's absolutely right. But here's the problem. Do the same white people that are against each other, who are the French fought the Europe, the English and all of that? But guess what? They unite under white supremacy.
Facts.
They unite under white supremacy. So you can't really say that African can't unite. It can happen if white folks can do it, then we can do it.
No,
And as
no, you
far
can't.
as
No,
hold
no,
on,
you
and
can't.
I'm gonna make this point quick. And as far as us not being related to Africa, we do the same things they do. You know what I'm saying? The things that they do, we do. The things that we do, they do. Like, for example, I'm not going to mention a certain FBA cult leader. I'm not going to mention his name, but he says that Africans eat bushmeat. We do. If you got family from I don't even know if y'all really, are y'all really FBA? Because I got family from the South.
I ain't never ate no bush meat.
Right. Okay.
Never ate
Let me
no
help
bush
you. Let me
meat.
help you out.
Squirrels, bro. So I know what you're talking about.
Let him finish.
Let me help you out.
Go ahead.
Let me help you out. I got family from the deep rural South, from Wiggins, Mississippi. I'm from New York.
Okay, I got family that eat gopher turtle, squirrel.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. They eat
No,
rat,
y'all don't. Y'all
possum,
seen that on the
squirrel.
internet. Y'all seen that on the internet.
Sir,
Y'all
the
seen
same
that
thing
on the
they eat.
internet. Y'all seen that on the internet. Y'all don't got no family that's eating that shit. Them niggas down there
well,
eating that shit. I'm just down there.
I got family from the deep South,
Hold
Wiggins, Mississippi, dude.
on.
Y'all is what?
Volvo, that's
And they ate anything they could get
That's
their
what?
hands on.
Okay,
That's
Volvo,
not true.
Volvo, you said the N word. That's a tariff.
Oh man, all right, man. Hey, y'all go back to Africa, man. I'm in Kentucky, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead. So N-word tariff, guys say the N-word is $10 tariff. Go ahead.
All right, I'm sorry, my bad. But yeah, we eat the same things. I got family also in Virginia, North Carolina, chitlins, possum, raccoon. You got to do what's that dude that be rolling the chicken down in the grill? Talking about, look at that right there. If you cook a bear on the grill, we eat the same things.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at that right there. Yeah.
Look at that.
That is such a weak argument.
And that's the truth, though. It can be weak, but it can be the truth.
I have not went to no family reunion. They have beer in the grill, and I am FBA. Man, get out of here with that.
Maybe your family don't. Maybe your family don't.
What black family?
But my
don't
family
eat
did.
beer? Are you kidding?
Nah, we don't eat bear, but people eat raccoons, squirrels, chitlins, all that, bro.
Even raccoon eating is
alligator and everything.
And keep in mind, that was during the point when we did before supermarkets, when black people was poor.
And we do it now.
For the South now eating no raccoon.
Bro, it's still
we do the gator gumbo.
Alive, bro.
Excuse me, do you know what century it is? You think this is the 1940s? During the Great Depression?
Sir, I found let me ask you something. You eat oxtail? Are
you kidding?
That's the tell us. That's somebody's ass you eating. Excuse my language.
No,
come on now.
Oh my God, that is you don't understand.
Come on, man.
All right, I gotta read this super chat. I gotta pass it to Teddy on politics. Hopefully Teddy's not on his Obama phone because he keeps going in and out. Dynasty, where Frank Zainu at? I reached out to Frank. He said his assistant said his schedule is filled up. They get back to me when they can. Go ahead, Teddy on politics. Unmute yourself.
He's a clown.
Teddy on politics. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this because my network's being flaky. That's why I keep going in and out. But anyway, real quick.
Are you where are you? Are you on your Obama phone? Like, how's your network this flaky?
No. I'm on a different network, a wireless one, and it's kind of the weather's not the best.
Oh, so, it's the weather. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So, but anyway, where's this FBA? They have all this smoke for all kinds of black folks. Let me start over. This week's scapegoat is Ghana. Last week or previously, it was the black immigrants. Before that, it was CBC. It's always somebody else's fault why black folks in America are not getting reparations. Always they scapegoating somebody. Next week it'll be the new scapegoat of the week. Who are they gonna scapegoat next? Who are they gonna blame next? Instead of having the smoke where it needs to be placed, where it needs to be directed to, white folks. You don't have no smoke for white folks. None at all. You ain't talking about them. You're just going in on other black folks, whether they're black immigrants or now it's a whole country. Now it's a whole country FBA is going in. Again, who are they gonna scapegoat next? And second, the U.S. just told black folks everywhere no, and that includes the so-called FBA people too. They told all black folks no, you're not getting reparations. So where's the smoke for that? Where's the smoke for America? Don't have none. Just got smoke for black folks everywhere else. That's all I had to say.
Can we answer that question? Anyone? I'm happy to jump in. First of all, you want to talk about why we got smoke? Remember Sheila Jackson Lee, who died, when was it, late last year? When they had that joke of a sham, the HR 40, she was up there talking about, no, I don't need reparations. If you look at her lineage, Sheila Jackson Lee is the child of Caribbean immigrants, I believe Jamaica. So she wouldn't have been eligible anyway. That's why we have, as you would like to call it, smoke for the so-called immigrants, because y'all get up in here and saying no, we don't need it, no, we don't qualify, or saying no, the only way FBA should get reparations if we get it too, because because we're black and we suffered. How can you suffer when you choose to immigrate to a country and then want to turn around? No, we tired of the double dipping. We're tired of the scamming. The same way that these black immigrants, that's half of them are Congressional Black Caucus, like either black immigrants or children of black immigrants. They push every agenda that destroys the black community. And don't get me wrong, we also got FBA and the Congressional Black Caucus that are traitors too. And they will all be dealt with. And when I say that legally, we're going to vote them out of office, because all they do is pass legislation that destroys and holds back foundational black Americans. And those days are over with.
Now, out of the whole list of people that you just mentioned, where were the white folks in there? You did not mention one black organization.
Wait, hold on. So did a white man or white woman jam his behind up Sheila Jackson Lee's behind
and white folks
use her like a puppet?
That's where you would get the money from.
Reparations.
That's where you would get the money from. And those folks
no. See, that's the games y'all want to play, and now y'all want to all of a sudden micromanage. That's
who's micromanage. That's the facts. That's the facts. You asking for money from white folks. And they told
no, you ain't playing that game. No, we're not asking for no white folks. We're asking for
where
the
you get money from?
Hold on.
Wait, who is the government? Who is the government?
The U.S. government. Who legalized
white folks, genius.
Right, exactly. Who is the government?
Okay.
But we're not even asking for it orderly. We're not asking for it orderly. So we don't need smoke for the white man right now. We don't need smoke for the white man right now. We need to come together as one for the black people.
For the white men, for the white folks, because the white folks have the money.
Oh, wait, hold on. Teddy on politics. Are you in the USA? Is either yes or no? I'm not asking you.
I am a black American. I don't live in the USA. No, I don't live in America.
Have you ever lived in the USA?
I don't live in America. But I'm from America.
You don't live in America, so you're not an American citizen.
I was born and raised in America.
But you don't live in America.
I am an American citizen. That's pointless.
Okay.
What's the point?
Good.
What's the point? I can say I'm American. I'm an American citizen.
Teddy,
I live outside of the U.S. So what? What's the point?
Breath. Hold on. You want to ramble. Take a breath. Hold on. You answer you're in America. Have you ever used U.S. currency
I said I'm not in America.
Or pay for services?
What?
What does that?
Listen for a second and stop talking. Listen to the guy.
I know you're not in America. Have you ever been in the USA?
I just said I was born and raised in America. Of course, I've been.
So okay, good. So hold on, pause. Have you ever used U.S. fiat currency, meaning physical money to pay for goods and
It's the
services.
default currency. Everybody
What
uses
currency?
it.
Hold on. Stop
Ever
with your passport. What are you trying to accomplish here?
No,
Like,
because I'm trying to. You get
it.
it, Dinus. I'm asking him a question. Have you ever used fiat currency to pay for goods or services? Yes or no?
Of course, the U.S. dollar is the default currency everywhere.
Okay,
Of course,
is that a yes or no? Is that a yes or no?
Yes. I just said yes.
Okay, good. Hold on. Now we're going to get to the crux of it. What pictures are on U.S. currency? Are there any Asian people? Are there any Native Americans? They're all white. So if you want to make this little sidebar ridiculous argument about the white man's money, if you may not be in the U.S. now, but when you was in the U.S. and if you ever return, if you use physical money, white men is on there, not even a white woman. So don't come with this retarded sideways argument.
So do Asians, so do Mexicans.
No, because that's what it is. It's a retarded sideways argument. White man's money. The white man's on the money in the U.S. So unless you're going to use some pro-black money, which wouldn't be accepted currency, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's a retarded argument. That's
Passport King. Passport King. I got a question for you, bro.
Wait, can I jump in?
Hold on, let me ask him this question. If all FBA are on the same page, and I don't go by FBA, but I'm Black American, I think it's a dumb term, but let's just use it for lack of a better term right now. If all FBA were on the same page, no, listen, if all FBA were on the
What's dumb about foundational Black American? What's dumb about recognizing one lineage? Would you?
Because none of our ancestors called themselves that. Genius, you can't make a lineage in 2022 for people that been here for 400 years, smart man. Anyway, if all FBA, for lack of a better term, were on the same page for reparations, how are we still going to force the United States to give us that?
When they flat out told you no.
No. Would you?
They not only did they tell you no, they told Black folks everywhere no.
Yeah, bro. So how are you getting reparations when you get all of us on the same page? The floor is yours.
Yeah, basically.
You would
let him go, bro.
Countries. Y'all only want to play this Black Americans. So show some respect. If you're going to respect a Jamaican, you're going to respect Africans for one of the 54 African countries, and in any given country can have hundreds of tribes. You can show the same respect since you're supposedly us, whether you identify by FBA or not. You can show that same respect to your own people. And I'm calling that BS out.
After you get us all on the same page, how are you going to force America to give us reparations? Answer the question, man.
Okay, force? What do you mean by force?
Oh my God, bro.
Wait, that question must be for me.
Where are you getting the money from?
No, I'm asking Passport King. His gripe is that FBAs are not on the same page regarding reparations. When you get us all on the same page, how are we going to get reparations after that?
I like that question. Solution based. I want to hear.
Wait, hold on. Okay, good. You want a solution? We're already doing that. Guess what? FBAs, let me not use FBA. Let me say U.S. slavery descendants, since people want to attack that term. U.S. slavery descendants, whether they go by freedmen or they go by FBA, they go by ADOS, they go by Salon, and some just want to be called Black American. But that term is problematic, as we have already discussed many times, as being discussed on social media. U.S. slavery descendants are already showing what we can do. Because guess what? The start is we're going to let the Democrats lose as they've been losing. Because guess what? All these other groups that the Democrats bend over backwards for, that they give all these resources for, the ones that can actually vote, they either vote at best 50-50 Republican Democrat, and in many cases, they lean more towards the Republicans. This is why the Democrats, every election cycle, whether it's the midterms or the major election cycle, even though they don't like it, they got no choice but to appeal to the Black community. Now, before they used to use shaming tactics, you got to vote for us because our ancestors died for the right to vote, which is both incorrect.
Okay, so basically your plan is to sell our vote to the Republicans in exchange for reparations then.
Why does that have to be sold to the Republicans?
You just said we're going to leave the Democrats. That's who we with right now. Who else we got?
Democrats crash out. And guess what? That's step one. Step two is we weaponize our vote to start voting the Democrats out. Now, I mentioned earlier about the Congressional Black Caucus. Not voting for the Democrats is step one. Step two is we start getting them out of office. That's not going to happen overnight. So this is not something that's going to be, okay, 2 to 3 years. It may take 6 years. It may take 10 years. Okay.
Can I give my solution? That's a little quicker. because we
Yeah,
don't have
that
10
was
years.
trash.
Yeah, we don't have 10 years.
We
I
really
feel you,
don't.
but we don't have 10 years.
We really
But
That was
don't.
listen,
garbage.
let me let this play out. Please let me cook, guys, because I want you guys, even people online, to make sense of this.
I'm
This is our
listening.
mission. This is our mission. Let's say that America came together, because I don't know the FBA, I'm not a part of it, but let's say there was a Black organization in America that fought for the Black people, and we called it
Mhm.
Black America First. Just remember that. We call it Black America First. Let's say that Africa came together. You still have the president for each country, but then there's a United Kingdom of Africa with a president, a VP, a cabinet. They have a whole department where there's liaisons to work for the diaspora, Blacks in America, Blacks in South America, Blacks in the Caribbean. Someone is appointed like a Secretary of State, maybe someone who lived in America or they have Caribbean descent, but really feel pulled to Africa. Somebody like Miss Dory, somebody like Dynas. Let's say that they lived in America, love Africa, and was on this council. Their blood is African, but the president is African. So this is the United Kingdom of Africa. That nation, that group works with Black America First, right? So now we have the Black heads talking. We come together and we ask for reparation. Not one country, two country, three country, four. We come together because we are one. And
Right.
when we come together, here's my solution. We want reparations. We all want it. Just like you guys give Israel money every month, we want not every month, every year, we want billions every year.
Right.
And the way that we would do it, Caribbean countries will get their billions every year. All African countries will get their billions every year. African Americans in America, I think our situation is a little different because they used us as slaves. So I think, let's say reparation was going to be giving out January 1st, 2027. I think every person that's Black should get a lump sum of 7 million on a debit card. This digital money is a little easy for them. Give
Okay, you
us
got the amount
7.
right.
Wait,
You got
I'm
the
not
amount.
done. I'm not done. 7 million per Black person. They have census. They know who say they Black, they white, they Asian. They do that to us in America. So they know who's Black. Everyone who's Black gets a Black card that's a debit card. When they get the Black card, they give us the lump sum of the 7 million. And then every year thereafter, each Black person gets 100K a year. 100K a year on that Black card. The Black card is like a social. Everyone is their own. The Black card is also like an access code because guess what? Don't tax us anymore when we work. Don't tax us anymore when we buy property.
Okay, now I
We don't
gotta
pay
stop
tax.
you. How are you gonna make them do this? You didn't explain that part.
First of all, this is just an idea. Now you asking me how to implement it. At least I'm coming with a solution. How about you
Right.
break down my solution first before you come and attack it? No one
That's
has
what
said
we
their
need to do, but we
solution.
have to have leverage to make them do something. They're not gonna
But
do it out
that's
of the
why
kindness of their heart.
I keep fighting for us to come together. We're not going to have any leverage when it's FBA against Ghana, against this one, against that one.
But
The way
sister,
that the
we
white
have
man
to.
looks at us,
Can I
wait, let me
can I
finish.
jump in
Let
there
me
real quick?
finish. 1 second. The way the white man looks at us is all Black. They don't see
Right.
Black America. They don't see Jamaican. They don't
Right.
see Haitian. They just see Black. Why can't we just see each other like that and
But
just
here's the
be one?
problem. Hold on. Even though you say that, let me say this real quick. Here's the problem. All these other groups, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, because see, I know a lot of people. I've been accused of hating Africans. People claim I hate people from the Caribbean. Some people claim I'm a Caribbean, pretend to be FBA. All this nonsense. Let's lay the cards on the table. These other groups, when they immigrate to the United States, they are hostile towards us.
And who teaches them that?
Hold on.
Who teaches them that?
Hold on. No. We're not.
Hold on, time out.
I
Did they
think
not
we're
teach
going
us the
backward
same
and
thing?
forward in this
When
argument,
they
and
come
it's
over
not
here?
making any sense.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to play these games of they don't know any
Oh,
better.
okay.
They don't know what they're doing. When I say they're hostile, I don't just mean in physical violence. I mean they plot against us. The HR 40, which we knew was a joke. Just seeing how Sheila Jackson Lee acted, talk about she doesn't want reparation. That's just one example. When we start looking closely at non-Black people who look Black, I'm not going to use the T term. We'll just say non FBA or non-U.S. slavery descendants. Let's use that. When we look at how non-U.S. slavery representatives act in government, whether it's at local, state, or federal levels, they are always pushing laws for their people and for immigrants, and they push against anything that could benefit us. I'm in New York City. There are scholarships, there are programs that exist only for Black immigrants, not just Hispanic people who are legal aliens, immigrants. But the minute someone even dares to propose a program for U.S. slavery descendants, all of a sudden there's all this pushback. It's not just in New York. This is the same story nationwide. And I'm not ranting. I'm mentioning that for a reason. I'm tying this back into what my kind of mind stated. This is why us coming together, as nice as it sounds kumbaya, that's a pipe dream. No one is coming together.
But it's not a pipe dream for the white man.
Hold on.
Sorry, guys.
They don't want to unify. Hold on, I'm landing right now. They see U.S. slavery descendants as attack dogs, human shields, and stepping stones. We're just something to be used and manipulated to get to what they want to. And this includes Black immigrants. That's why this come together thing is a fantasy. And I'll land right there.
Okay. I mean, one minute. You come up. Honestly, I got basically your talking point. With all respect, my brother Pastor King. Even though I understand some of your points where you're coming from now and again, you talk like a white supremacist, but in the black skin. If I don't know you,
why am I a white?
I didn't know you.
Please explain.
No, but like in the black skin, because you as everyone said earlier, you always got smoke for your own brothers, but you're not looking at the other side. We understand there's both. No. Both sides are wrong. Let me just make my point.
Either. Okay.
Let me. I understand. Listen, I always said that. You know me. I'm always in this issue here. I am in the middle on this because I know both sides are wrong. From Africa and the Europeans. Okay, they're both wrong. In fact, when people said about slavery, it wasn't the white people that went to Africa and actually forced us to sell slaves. It was voluntarily. These people did it. In their own ill, minded, and they basically in their own bad tendency. They did it on their own, okay? Because there's no way, it's a minority people in the world will just come to Africa and overrun the entire African continent and colonize it. Even colonialism, even colonial days.
Okay.
Keep going. It was, hang on. No, 1 second, let me finish. It was a minority European elites who went to Africa and used the majority of the black coons in our community to oppress us, and do these things, including, slavery. But the reality is, we need to move away from this because that's not going to get us anywhere. It's your fault, it's my fault. Where is that going to get us?
Hold on.
And the reality about if they're gonna give us reparations, look at how they treat us.
You mean that there should be no correction?
No, there should be correction, but
can I cut in real quick? Because I've been quiet for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Let me cut in just real quick.
You can come after me. 1 second, bro.
Go ahead.
So, the reality is, we understand there's wrongdoing on both sides, in the African continent and also the European elites who went to Africa and did this. So we should look at both sides equally, not just give the smoke to one side. And also we should be strategic in dealing with things, not losing support along the way, because you're not going to achieve any goal by saying certain things that you say or having certain approach. You see, as you said earlier, if the Ghanaian president wanted to get any help from in terms of colonialism, there are companies that's still alive in Africa that's making loads of money who were involved in colonialism. Unilever is one of them.
All right, after 30 seconds, I got to pass the mic to East Coast.
Okay.
30 seconds.
Yeah, and Unilever is one of them. Nestle is one of them. They're making billions in Africa. They still, they're one of the people who went to Africa and colonized us, and still making money. And also, we know the kingdoms, who are involved in catching slaves and selling slaves. These people are still there in the continent of Africa. They could do something about it. But yeah, let's work together as a group, as the sister said. Well, I can never see Africa uniting. That's just a fantasy. It's not going to happen because we are not united in the continent. You know, what you see in America is what you see in Africa. There's no different. I pass the mic. Thank you.
Okay. I just want to ask Passport King this. If now, are there some Africans? I do agree with you somewhat. Is there some Africans or some Caribbeans that come over here and try to undermine African Americans? Sure, they sell out, but I'm not going to punish all Africans for the crimes and the ignorance of a few, just because a few come over here and do it. There's only you and the FBA clan make it seem like the 3 million Africans that live in America are tearing down the 40 million African Americans that are already here. My job, hold on a second. I'll let you talk. I ain't saying nothing when you talk. All I'm saying is this: if me and you are walking down the street, and I'm walking my dog, and my dog bites you, who pays for that? Me or the dog?
Obviously,
Good question.
you pay for
Who pays for that?
Come on, man. You
I'm
as
asking
the
you a question.
dog.
Who
Are you
pays for it?
listening?
Me
I
or the
say
dog?
you as the owner. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
I say you as the owner of the dog. You're responsible. I said it 3 times.
There you go. So why are you holding the Africans accountable for something that the white man did?
Now, see, that's where you go over the cliff. See, this is
No, it's not over the cliff. Don't move the goalpost here, buddy.
No.
I want to know why are you going to remember? Hold on one second. I'll give it back to you. I'll give it back to you.
Hold on. This is why
I'll give it back to you. I'll give it right back to you. I promise.
Or they go by ADOS or so long. It's taking off because you know what? We're sick and tired of all these other groups. They're all saints. Africa is some mythical motherland, like a real life Wakanda. These groups are not responsible because you know what? Let me tell you. I'll tell you what. Let's make
brother. We from New York. Ain't no Wakanda over here either.
Let's do this. Hold on. No.
I'm from Brooklyn. We ain't no Wakanda either.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna prove it right now to everyone on the panel. You name one nation in Africa where there's a known group of FBAs and politics undermine the people in the countries. Go. Name me one country in Africa.
Okay, there's Ghana. There's a group of Black Americans,
Get the words right out of my mouth.
Black folks from America that live in
Where?
Ghana. That live in Ghana. That are
and they're in the government.
That are petitioning.
Hold on, they're in the government.
If you let me finish.
No. Are they? Hold on. Are they in the government?
You said involved in politics. I was getting to that.
They're involved in politics in the government, directly in the government, sabotaging the Ghanaian people. Let me be specific.
The politics are composed, the government is composed of politicians. Therefore, they're involved in politics.
Oh, so in other words, you're trying to make tap dance and make an argument for, you're trying to make a red herring straw man argument for something that don't exist. Thank you for proving my point.
You haven't.
However,
you haven't even
hold on,
no.
However, we have numerous
you haven't finished my
African immigrants and governments at local, state, federal level in the United States of America, not just at the federal, state, local level. And these groups are almost always hostile against Black Americans. There's a famous video, Omar.
Give an example.
She was talking about a some Iman or Khalid, whatever the hell you call him, and whatever you call him, was talking that she was there to take a seat for a Black American. Somalis used to be the main ones saying we are not Black, but when the heat turned up on them, what did they do?
Somalis are called, come on, man. Somalis are all Black. Come on, leave Somalis alone. They don't even like themselves.
Wait, are you?
They don't even like themselves. Forget about them.
Hold on, the Somalians not march on.
No, but the Somalis don't even like. They don't even like other Africans, bro. They're the bad example to give.
Say that the new civil rights was for them to take over, and that civil rights is no longer about Black Americans, U.S. slavery descendants.
Somalis don't represent Black. They don't represent Black people.
Hold on, I'm making that up.
They don't represent Black people.
White man's lie. I'm being a white man right now.
No, but they do not represent Africa neither. Trust me.
That's a white supremacist talking point. That didn't happen. Africa, did that happen? Yes or no?
No, okay. Listen, the Somalis. Yeah,
that's why.
Hang on, ask me a question. The Somalis, the Arab.
We got some new people on here. I just want to Prince Steve. Go ahead, Prince Steve. Unmute yourself, Prince Steve.
What's going on, fellas? Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I was gonna say about the is what's the name of the title? Or Pan-Africans? As I'm driving, are Pan-Africans?
Sabotaging.
So what I think is no, they're not. We're so divided as a black people and as of African descendants that we some of us forget. I'm talking about our brothers and sisters here in the United States. We forget that our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean were also oppressed. Let's scratch out the ones that's in Africa, and let's talk about the ones that were in the Caribbean. The slaves in the Caribbean and the mistreatment of Africans in the Caribbean is the reason why we had the Willie Lynch letter. That is what influenced the Willie Lynch letter regarding shadow slavery in the American South. So I am a descendant of both an African American, which is 7 generations in the United States, and I'm also a descendant of a Jamaican woman. The struggle was the same. We both experienced excruciating slavery, whether it was on the sugar cane plantations or where it was the rice plantations in South Carolina or the cotton plantations in the Mississippi Delta. It was the same thing.
That's not true, fam. I know disrespect to you.
It was backbreaking labor. You ain't never did none of that shit.
Where was the KKK in Jamaica?
You never done any of that shit.
Hold on. How many black churches in Jamaica was blown up by domestic terrorists? Tell me.
They were the majority after slavery, bro. That don't mean they ain't go through more.
Technically, South Carolina before the year 1910 had more black people than any other race. So
you
did
didn't answer my question.
That's the problem right there, because we're doing the slavery Olympics, where who had more problems than the other group. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That's not fair, man. That's not fair.
See, no, you know why? I'm not.
No. What you're doing, your level of delineation, is separating African descendants from their brothers and sisters in the Caribbean. When their brothers and sisters being brought from Jamaica to Virginia and South Carolina.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in?
History in Haiti, the same as Trinidad. It's not the same
not the only people that dealt
I'm not
with
saying
slavery.
other countries don't have history, but
African
y'all very
Americans
disingenuous.
were not the only people
Hold on. What y'all always do is what the president of Ghana tried to do. Y'all take the historic wrongs of what happened to U.S. slavery descendants, and you try to put that on other groups.
No, this is about the transatlantic slave trade.
And this is where the scamming comes in. When y'all do that, then the next step is, well, you know what?
It is
These
no
other
scam.
people need to be compensated too. That's the scam that's been running for decades, and that's what delineation is shutting down. No, you're not going to hijack the ongoing struggles of U.S. slavery descendants, whatever terms, because there's multiple terms out there that we may go by, because some may choose one over the other. You're not going to put on other foreign black groups. You're not going to put on black immigrants and say they owe something. I'm not saying Jamaicans aren't owed, but whatever Jamaicans are owed, they take that up with the UK. I'm not saying Haitians are owed. Haitians are owed, they take it up with France. But y'all not going to hijack. Go ahead.
So Passport King, the gentleman is right, because this is a part of the division. Slavery is slavery. Was there different levels and a little different? Maybe, but we don't need to argue about that. The only reason why I separate it, because look, if we get reparations, let's say the Caribbean islands, African countries, I think they all should get like 7 billion a year. 5 to 7 billion a year for each country. Wait. Each country, no matter what. The only one that I think is kind of different is America, because it's almost like we're still enslaved. the way they work the people, like they give them low hourly wage, they put them in the projects. Something is still going on in America where like they're still in slavery, but it's called the workforce.
Right.
So the only thing that's different is America's reparation look a little different. Like I said, every single person get their own 7 million with the 100K thereafter. Now, if it's Africa and the different countries in Africa, Africa's president has to decide how they're going to separate their 7 billion amongst their citizens. That's the only division. I don't think we can take and say Ghana had more slaves in the slavery than Jamaica. No, that shouldn't be a fight.
Hold on, can you just answer this one quick question? Because this is important. Which people under your plan, let's say they came to fruition in the United States, which people should get that 7 million lump sum? I'll let you answer. Who specific?
Okay, and thank you so much. So, and this is why you guys stop fighting, because when I'm not a part of slavery, I don't know if my family was in slavery, but guess what? They treat me black in America. They treat me like I was a part of slavery in America, or I'm just like the slaves from back in the day. So let me answer the question. So let me answer the question, please. Can I answer the question? I want to answer the question.
You were descended from slaves.
So I believe.
There's no ambiguity.
I want to answer the question. So I believe that.
Don't you know?
Let her talk.
You're stuck on the wrong points. I'm trying to say I don't fully know. I don't fully know my history. I don't fully know my African history past Jamaica. I don't know my African history past Jamaica, and that's a lot of us.
Parents, or two, you're not from a U.S. slavery descendant lineage. You're from possibly a foreign lineage, and you don't want to say. And that's fine if you don't want to say. There's no way you can tell.
He's not listening. You're talking and you're not listening. You're not adding to the conversation.
Because I'm no, I am.
You know, this is the problem with the black community in the United States.
You don't know if you're from the U.S. slavery descendant lineage. How can you not know that?
Because you're stuck on the wrong thing. All of us were affected.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Okay? So to answer your question, let me answer your question and then mute, because I don't want to do a back and forth. I'm speaking to the internet. I'm speaking to the internet. I want to answer the question for the internet.
No, let her talk.
That is the crux of the entire argument. The crux of the entire argument is lineage and nationality.
No, it's not.
Okay, but hold on, time out. But being that she brought up Jamaica, do you realize that slaves were traded back and forth? Hold on a second. I got you. I'm gonna give it right back to you. I'm gonna give it right back to you. I promise. Do you realize that slaves were traded back and forth from here to the Caribbean? So people that say that the FBA might not even be FBA.
What happened?
I said, did you realize that slaves? I'm gonna tell you what I just said. Do you realize that slaves were traded back and forth from Africa to the Caribbean? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Because yes, they were. How do you take?
Hold on, we shut that
out. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you this.
Hold on, no. We go back to the 1860 census, and all people who were descendants of, post-slavery, the 1870 census. We go back.
You're not letting me prove my point. I'm trying to tell you my point why I said that.
Let's just do the talk.
No, because see, this.
I'm trying to tell you my point of why I said that.
I got to interject. Passport, you need to chill out. Let other people talk.
I'm gonna tell you why I said that. Did you realize that slaves were passed back and forth from the Afro-America to the Caribbean, back and forth? And the reason why I said that is because being that happened, you don't know who really is FBA. For all I know, you can have cousins and aunts. Hold on. You can have cousins and aunts that are in the Caribbean. You ain't know me. Go ahead, man. You got it, man.
No, Passport King, you are not doing a show for all of us. Be quiet for a second. Mute your mic.
Go ahead, my kind of mind. Go ahead.
Listen, please. So let me answer his question first. So the 7 million will go to every black person. So right now, let's say that reparations was going to be given out January 1st, 2027. Every person that's black in America, let's talk about America right now, because I'm talking about the 7 million. Every person that's black, even a baby, even a newborn baby, if a baby is born by January 1st, 2027, they all get the 7 million lump sum. Now, if it's kids under 18, put it in an inheritance thing, put it in a CD, right? And then when they're 18, they get access to it. But here's the thing. After January 1st, 2027, no more lump sum reparation, because every Black person born in America after that, we took care of your family. Your family have 7 million per person. They're getting 100K every year. So that, I don't want to say it fixed the trauma, but you kind of set us up a little good. If you give each Black person 7 million and give us 100K a year on the Black card.
4 million Black people who aren't of U.S. slavery descent. So we basically saying they should get it too for something that they are not owed. So by giving to 4
They're
million
treated
people,
Black in
hold on.
America.
Nope,
They're treated Black in America. They don't know.
Nope. You have to go by lineage.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Yeah, what do you mean you don't? That's the whole point. Because you know why? The minute you don't, you know what you get? You get
the white person treats every Black person the same. Every Black person is traumatized by slavery. It's not just the people whose family was in it.
You'll get
You're just talking past each other, man.
Guess what? What stops an Afro-Latino from coming over and saying, you know what? I deserve reparations too. So should they get 7 million?
So Passport King, you're not listening. The Brazil,
No,
remember I said,
okay,
so I first said, so let me finish and answer. I first said that we're going to come together. That's why we need to come together, because when we have the United Kingdom of Africa, there'll be different Secretary of States that would fight for the Afro-Latina, that would fight for the Caribbean Blacks. Their reparation looks a little different than America. They get the lump sum of the 7 billion, and then their presidents get to decide how to repair their country, give to their citizens, tax return, however they decide. And the way that we follow up with that is the United Kingdom of Africa and the different appointees, so that we're all communicating, we're all one.
Okay.
Because
Hold on. I'm with you so far. So let's be clear on this. If we're going to have this 7 million payout, let's keep it to the United States, since I know we're not on the U.S., some people in different parts of the world, but since the United States has been dragged into this by Ghana, can we agree that only U.S. slavery descendants, people whose descent goes back to the 1870 census, unbroken,
we cannot agree.
One parent, only
we cannot agree.
We mean, why can't you agree?
Because I answered your question about who gets the 7 mil. Every Black person. I live in America.
I'm not arguing.
Let me answer, Passport. I live in America.
Why?
They're not asking me, were your descendants into slavery? When they treat me Black or try to be racist towards me, they're not being racist towards me because my great-great-grandfather.
I got it real quick. I understand what hold on, Passport King. I understand what Passport King is saying. Did you voluntarily come to America, or were you a descendant of enslaved Africans that were brought here against their own free will? My kind of mind, I'm asking.
So you're trying to say which one will get the 7 mil?
No, but I understand where Passport King is coming from.
Hell, even I understand what he's coming from.
That's where the disconnect is.
That's why I said
every Black person in America should get it, and Passport King is saying no, descendants of enslaved Africans who were brought here, who were chattel slavery here in America, who are on the census should get it. So I understand what Passport King is saying, but that's what I'm asking you. I'm talking. Are you, so my kind of mind, are you a descendant of enslaved Africans that were chattel slavery here in America, or did you just recently immigrate here?
So I didn't immigrate here recently. I was born in Jamaica, West Indies.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So no.
Now it makes sense. See?
So
guess what? Hold on. So I'm not saying you're not owed reparations. Your reparations is through Jamaica, CARICOM, and the UK. You're no disrespect, sister. You seem like you're a cool person, but you're not owed a cent by the U.S. government. And I don't want to hear about what bigotry you experience in the United States.
But I've been in America my whole life. I came to America when I was like 2 years old. I've been in America forever.
We're not playing.
My kind of mind. Did you? My kind of mind. You were born in Jamaica, so I'm guessing your family, your parents, they brought you here, correct?
Yes, I came here when I was like 2 years old.
Your beef is with Jamaica. I mean, in the UK.
Right. And the character. Yeah. Sis, you can't double dip.
I knew
But
it.
but do you
I
see?
think
No,
Jamaica
but
need to blame.
guys,
Jamaica need to go
let me
after
jump
Spain.
in. Look, let me jump
Because
in.
it's the Spanish.
Let me say one
It's the
last thing
Spanish.
and then
The
I'll
Spanish
leave.
first, then later the British.
Let me say one
Jamaica
last
is
thing
the
and then
Spanish
I'll
first,
leave.
then later the British.
You've
All right,
made
sis.
Okay.
Okay.
You've
So
made
let me
your
say
point,
one
Mike.
last thing.
You've made your point. He doesn't agree with you. There's no point going on.
I'm not trying to make anyone agree with me. That's not my point. I'm giving information. I'm talking solution based.
I'm talking lineage. I'm talking legality.
Exactly.
Because what my kind of mind just did, and I'm not picking on you, sister. I'm please don't take it personally. If we go with your reasoning, what you do is you open Pandora's box. We'll have Afro-Latino. Let's say we did get reparations and we go with your policy. You know what's going to happen? We'll have.
Oh,
hello?
He's gone. He's left us for a bit.
No,
I mean, what he's saying is true, but what I would say to him is that where is the black
The so-called
organization
white
that's
Hispanics
gonna
bringing
own black?
lawsuits. You know what? Hey,
It's back.
we was discriminated too. You know, blah blah blah. You'll get Chinese. They'll somehow bring a lawsuit. Hey, well, you know what? We worked on the railroads. We'll get affirmative action all over again, where all of a sudden everyone is getting reparations except the people was made for. That's what we're trying to avoid. That's what
But if you hear my solution, if everyone gets 7 million in America that's black, who doesn't get it?
No, you can't
Who
do
does?
it that way.
You can't really do everyone because you got to
I
do the
think
people
that's the
that
wrong way to
descended
go
from
around
here.
it, sis.
So basically,
yeah.
in regard to what Passport King has said, look, he's a black American. He believes in the lineage thing with FBA. Fine. He believes that he doesn't want any other group of black people
not
to
a belief.
getting.
Lineage is
Oh
lineage.
gosh, now
Let
we're
him talk.
Now you're
Go
gonna
ahead.
get upset over the word belief. For fuck's sakes! I was actually gonna say, yeah, do your thing. The problem is you don't have an organization that's lobbying in Congress. Your fellow black American brothers on here asked you, how are you going to do it? You waste your time with the whole Democrat thing. You had no answer. And then, just keep quiet. I mean, you had your chance to speak. Jesus. You had your chance. You told us what you want. Fine. Go ahead and do it. The problem is you don't have an organization that's doing it. It's not just me who said that. Dinah said it as well. Okay.
Right.
So you don't have an organization that's lobbying Congress like the Japanese Americans did to get their reparations, or the indigenous people. You don't have one. Get that and get it done. We get it. You don't like my kind of mind's idea. Cool. So do your own thing, but you haven't given us a solution how you're going to do it. I listened carefully. The good King Justice asked you the question.
Let me tell you,
what's his name asked you the question. Yeah, just give us the solution. Stop telling us the history lesson. Now you don't want to explain the history lesson.
Hold on, what's Passport King? Passport. Hold on, 1 second. Passport King, you have 30 seconds to explain how we're going to get reparations.
Okay, let me
give him 1 minute. Give him 1 minute. 1 minute, Alice.
I got this warped idea that somehow everything was given to us in America and we did not fight for everything. We have fought in every war from the American Revolution.
Passport King, explain. You got 1 minute. How are we going to get reparations? Get it enforced. Go ahead.
How are we going to get reparations?
Get it enforced.
All right, let's start with this way. Well, where we at the first step is delineation. We have to get
Oh man, Passport King. We're past.
Oh no, sorry.
Passport King.
No solution.
Ask me a question. You want me to answer?
Yeah, but we know the delineation. We know we fought in every war. We know the chattel slavery. We know about Jim Crow, redlining.
It's a simple question, bro.
They took our 40 acres and a mule. We know all that.
Yeah, that is.
I need 1 minute. Okay,
give a solution, Passport. Give a solution.
I'm gonna ask like this: how about after delineation is done? What's the next step?
You want the answer?
No. He's being disingenuous. No, Passport King. I'm not being disingenuous. Passport King. You have 1 minute to answer. How are you going to force the U.S. government to give us reparations? Go.
Okay, you want to know how we do it? You talk about force. You're trying to make it like a conflict. Here's step one: delineation
is federally recognized.
Step two.
Hold on, stop. You want
God dang, man. Passport King, I'm about to remove you. You're getting on my nerves, Pat. You really
Okay,
are.
see,
You're starting to annoy the hell out of me
you're being
now.
disingenuous, Dinus.
I'm not being disingenuous.
As
How are
you
you
are,
never
Dinus,
bro?
because
I
I'm
said
giving the
before.
answer. You don't want to accept it. That's the answer, Dinus.
Okay, step two.
Dinus,
Step
you're
two.
doing a confusion right now. You
Step
had my
two.
kind of mind
Step
running this
two.
argument
Step
and
two.
didn't
Oh,
acknowledge
God.
Jamaica, right?
Step
After
What
you
a joke.
delineate,
What
what
a
are you
joke.
gonna do? God
What a
damn.
joke. I asked him that same question over an hour ago. And then East and the good King Justice then asked him the same question about 30 minutes ago. And he never gave an answer. And you've asked him and he won't give an answer. It's like, what's going
And
on?
these the people that we gotta argue with online all day, bro. People with no plans.
I just have one question. I'm sorry.
No, we
I
got
just have
one
one question.
answer. I wouldn't get reparations. We got one answer.
I just have a simple question. I want to know what happened with these FBA jokers, because their main leader. Here's the thing: their main leader 10 years ago, when I was listening to him, encouraged me to want to go to Africa, telling me how Africa's beautiful. We need to tap in with the brothers and sisters, and we need to go over there and build. What changed? Maybe Dinus can answer this. What changed from all of that to where are you from? You're not a foundational Black American. I know that hairline. That ain't FBA hairline. What changed, Dinus? I just want to know.
You gotta. Tariq Nasheed's a very, very entertaining guy, and Black people got to be entertained. So that's what changed. It's just it was entertaining. You know, the jokes, the delineation. That drew people. They call us a Larry sits in his house in the UK and calls us a kata. You know, you know. Oh, and here's the proof. And here's the proof. There's a movie called Sugar Hill. See that scene where the Nigerian called, Wesley Snipes and his brother katas? That's the proof.
Right.
And Black people just took it around with it.
Right. And you know what? If he wants to vacation, instead of going to Senegal, why don't he go to a foundational Black American country? Oh, that's right. There is one. It's called Liberia. That's all I had to say.
You know the crazy thing. The crazy thing when I grew up in Nigeria many years ago, I never heard that word akata. The first time I heard it, I was in England and I was watching Sugar Hill, and I heard them say, and I was like, what does it mean? Wesley Snipes went, yeah, what is this akata thing? And I was like, yeah, what is this akata thing? And then the guy said cotton picker, which is BS. It doesn't even mean cotton picker. God. I mean, the person who wrote that script needs to be really sued. I mean, he did some serious damage with that film.
Is Passport King still here?
Nah, he was. You know what? I'm gonna bring it back on. But he was just being annoying as hell.
No, only because I have a question. I have a question about the whole FBA thing. Like, isn't that a way to divide again? These get the reparation, not these. Those Black get the reparation, not these Black.
My kind of mind. That's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah, but I don't think reparations should be like that. It should be for everyone, because
my
generations.
kind of mind here. If the U.S. was to cut a check, rightfully so, should go to so-called FBA ADOS. Period. Hard stop.
Right.
But why not all the Blacks? Like, if the FBA's
Because
get it,
you have your claim with the UK via Jamaica.
No, erase me.
Here, they got to go through Portugal. You got your own claim, but as far as
don't think about me. Erase my Jamaican history. I'm just thinking like a Black person.
No.
No. Wait, can y'all give answer though?
You yourself,
my kind of mind.
You yourself know that.
My kind of mind. No.
If that's the case, I can think like a Black person and go to England and get some reparations too.
I'm talking.
My bad.
My kind of mind. You need your claim starts with CARICOM via the UK.
I'm talking about a solution for all. I'm not specifically trying to get reparations. I'm thinking about all of us Black people.
My kind of mind. When it comes to the United States of America, there's no solution for all. Hard stop.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Just
I agree. I agree with that.
People don't want to do it.
Yeah,
they don't want to do that.
I don't like that answer.
Well, it is what it is.
You know what? Yeah, we have to be realistic, sis. That's the reality. I mean, in fact, Jamaica, you have the Spanish, because don't forget the Spanish are the people who actually originally brought the people there. So your claim will be with the Spanish. The British will say to you, well, we know we did you wrong, but we actually freed you also. So, you know, that's a problem. I mean, let's be honest. This whole reparation thing, financially, I doubt it's going to happen. You know, there's so many reasons why it shouldn't. You know, I hope it does because I think, yeah, I hope it does. I actually really hope it does for the African Americans and the Caribbeans and the Africans in the South American region. They should definitely. And I hope it starts with the West African continent. You know, like the ECOWAS, for example, bloc. They should come up with something and say, look, this is what we got for what happened, during slavery. You know, what can you do? Can you top it up for us? Let's do something for the diaspora, please. I think that should be a good way to start it. And also, you guys in America, do your bit in terms of, your voting bloc. Okay, whether it's Republicans or Democrat, don't stick to Democrat. You've seen they never done anything for you. It's like the Labour Party in the UK, Larry. You know that black people have been voting Labour Party here for years. All they do is disappoint us, take us for granted.
But early on we were talking about graduated levels of repair. So if your people came here, let's say in the 1920s, and you suffered harm from the Jim Crow all the way, because there's not, most of the immigrants came, I would say probably they started coming in the 70s and in the 80s more and more, right? But there are some cases where you have some that have been here, came in the 40s or the 50s. And if you can claim that, now we talked about this, and it appears that there's no will at all for folks who have been here for that long. But someone suggested, how about there be either a kind of graduated level or different levels of repair based on when your people came here. So if you came here at this time, at this time, at this time, and that was thrown out. People was like, no. And then people said you should start your own claim. So if you're here in the United States and you grew up here, second generation, third generation, form your own group and ask for your separate claim.
Yep, I suggested that and lobby Congress, but I don't think many people went for that. That's what I was saying. Just do that. Have your own organization, lobby Congress, get your money.
And guess what?
But I think when we do it so separate,
filing claims, we're just saying you're not gonna shoehorn yourself into what should be specific to our people. It's not being mean. It's because we know what happens when that happens. Look. I keep going back to affirmative action. Politicians today in the 21st century, last year, this year, have stated that affirmative action was meant for when our people was then called Negroes. They went and allowed in what they call minorities, other non-whites, and even white women. So long story short, fast forward decades, the people was meant for did not benefit from it. If you start including all these other groups, all these other so-called specific cases, you're going to do the same thing with reparations. If that's the case, then I'm like, hey, don't do it at all, because then you're just trying to run a scam.
Okay, I got one question.
Oh, I don't think so.
What about the descendants of the saltwater railroad that are in the Bahamas?
What does that got? Okay, then their claim is with the Bahamian government and the UK.
No, I would disagree, because they came from the Carolinas and escaped slavery. So you had the saltwater railroad and you had the underground railroad.
Wait a minute. So what are you claiming? Those people you're talking about now, where's their citizenship at?
It's in Bahamas, but they were enslaved in the United States. They escaped to the Bahamas.
Then guess
This
what?
is in the 1800s.
Okay, hold on. Okay, good. So here's
I think they're different type of slavery. They're different type of slavery and cheap labor are two different things.
No, they can claim. They can make a claim. They can make a claim because they got ancestors that went through chattel slavery in the United States, so they're eligible.
They can make a separate claim, but they're not going to be grouped in with U.S. slavery descendants. They can make a separate claim.
No, they should be.
They should be. No, they should not be. Because see what you're doing there. If that's allowed, I'm telling you, everyone around the world is going to certainly have reasons why they should be
What you
included.
guarding the money for so much? It ain't your money anyways. These white folks that got all the world's money in the first place. Here's another argument. These white folks got 90% of the world's wealth, and you worried about screening somebody out that is black that then went through. They might have went through chattel slavery in the Caribbean, and here you are trying to screen them out so tough. If your ancestors went through chattel slavery, if your ancestors went through chattel slavery in the United States, and you living in British Virgin or those islands in the British Virgin, something, are you in Nova Scotia? Are you in Liberia? You know, that's something to consider. You need to be considered for
Brother Shaw, I think Passport King. Hold on, I got you, Passport. I got you, Passport. I think he's trying to say that, like, for example, if you had slavery done in Brazil, you can't claim reparations in America. You got to holler at Portugal. You know what I'm saying? I think he's saying. That's what he's saying.
I'm saying when African Americans left and went somewhere else,
Carolinas that went to the Bahamas, so they was still
when African Americans that went through chattel, the main thing is the harms and badges is mainly through the chattel slavery, and then so a lot of what they're saying, eligibility for that is show that your family can go back to at least the 1800s or a little more than 1800s. If you can prove that your ancestry goes back to the 1800s, then you're eligible for reparations. Because the major harms are done through chattel slavery. Right. So if I'm in Nova Scotia and I can prove I'm 4 generations in Nova Scotia and I can prove that my ancestry went back to 1865, then I should be eligible for reparations.
But there's so many people that can't prove that. There's so many Black Americans that can't even prove that. So what? They don't get the reparations?
No, that's not true. Because what you just said, my kind of mind, what you just stated, now you open the door for scamming and fraud. Because suddenly everyone's going to claim, well, hey, I'm descended from U.S. slavery descendants, but I have no birth records. I have no documentation to prove it. But just take my word.
But that's why it shouldn't be based on descendants. It shouldn't just be based on that.
So then you're saying that anyone who just happens to have black skin should be anywhere in the world should be able to claim they need reparations from the U.S. government.
Yeah, that can't happen. That can't happen. You can't double dip, sister. You can't double dip.
I got a question.
They ain't gonna pay me.
I got a question. You think I should get it? My mom's from Jamaica, and my dad's been here for 7 generations. His family.
Yeah, you eligible.
You got 2 claims.
If your dad is descended from U.S. slavery descendants, you're owed it. We're not going to play this game of half FBA. At least one
claim with
you're eligible.
But here's the bigger question. I have the bigger question for you guys. I want you guys to think about this. For you guys in the chat and you guys on the panel, what's wrong with every person that's Black or brown or Black descent getting the reparation? If it's an equal amount of 7 million.
There's no problem. Hold on. There's no problem with getting the reparations.
There's no scamming. There's no need to scam.
Let me answer your question.
Everyone's good.
I got you.
If the reparation could come out like that. I have another question after.
Will I be eligible for Jamaica's reparations then? I should be eligible for Jamaica's reparations if I go to Jamaica.
Right. If that's the case, I should be eligible for England.
Right?
You guys are worried about everyone else. What I'm asking
no.
everyone to get the help.
Hold on. I'm not doing it. Like I'm trying to be patient. My kind of mind being disingenuous now, like Passport King was. No. You go through Jamaica, okay?
No, okay, so that's my next point, Dynast. That's my next point then. No, because
we already gave
because that's my point.
We already gave you the answer, okay? Don't ask that question.
How do you think it looks? How do you think it looks to the world?
Don't ask that question anymore. Stop.
No, you guys are doing claims all over. This country doing a claim, that one doing a claim. How do you think that looks? It looks unorganized.
In reality, we are not.
It looks like a joke. It looks like a joke. It looks like the people are not together.
Okay, my kind of mind. Your parents made the conscious.
We're not talking about me. Don't make it specific. I'm speaking for just Black people.
No. Okay, I'm going to repeat it again. Please don't ask this question again. All right? If you are not a descendant of an enslaved African chattel slave here in the United States of America, okay, you're not eligible from America. Period.
Right. But now there's something to be said about
and it's
allies.
not a personal attack, my kind of mind. That
Yeah,
goes
yeah,
for
yeah.
all
I don't know why
immigrant
she's taking a
from
personal attack.
Caribbean or
I'm not
Africa.
taking it personal. I just think it's not solution
Oh
based.
my God.
It's not a
Because my
personal. I
kind of
just feel like
mind,
you
it's like I
guys are
said
not seeing the
before.
bigger picture.
If we no,
That's
the
the
Because
bigger
bigger
picture
picture.
is that
slavery, yes, there's lineage, but people were still affected in 2015, in 1985, even when
how much
No,
harm
slavery
did
no,
was
you
no.
how
done.
much
My
harm
kind of
did you
mind.
get since you've
We're
been here for
talking. We're
20
taking.
years? How much
Hold on,
harm did
Shaw.
you
Hold on, Shaw. My kind of mind. Again, it's slavery reparations. Slavery. Okay. If your descendants were not affected by slavery here in the United States of America, if they were not chattel slaves on a plantation somewhere here in America, you're not eligible. Hard stop.
Right. Thank you.
My kind of mind.
Now,
that's my
hold
point.
on. Now, my kind of mind. If you were discriminated against here in America by some white person or on the job, then yeah, you file a lawsuit against your job or your work. But as far as the
Thank you, sir.
claim permit, it no.
Okay, so
Right.
gentlemen, you
Yeah.
guys
Thank
don't
you.
think it's less effective when it's being asked about in this separate country way?
No,
You
it's
don't
more
think that the
effective because the two
reparations
sticks
are
are being
kind of being
jumbled.
mocked? It's
No.
being
My kind of
mocked
mind.
and
Check
less
this.
No.
effective?
My
Definitely
kind of
not.
mind.
all
No,
black
My kind of
definitely
people
mind.
not.
Give me a
across the
second.
globe to come
You,
together, but we just don't live in that world, baby. Like all black
No.
people ain't
my
united.
kind of mind.
So
Check
we
this
can't
out.
go
You
like
know there was
that, bro.
slavery in modern
Yeah.
day today, what we call China, right? What's to stop Chinese who are in the United States today saying, "Wait a minute, we have
Passport King,
ancestors that were slave in China."
Passport King, we're repeating ourselves now. Like we got
Yeah.
it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we
you
got to
still
move
need to
on.
answer the question about how we gonna
Hmm.
get reparations, because you
He's not
still
gonna
ain't
answer. Oh,
break
hold
that
on.
down.
No,
Okay.
I really
I
answered that
started
one.
till you kick me out, and I
No,
said it
you
starts at the federal
answered it,
level.
but
You have to have
Passport King
recognition.
didn't.
Hold on, I started to, but I got kicked out or dropped,
Passport
whichever
King.
one.
We know Passport King. We don't need to know the lineage base and all that. How are you going
Actually,
to
we
enforce
do. That
reparations?
has to be the
Okay, we know
diamond.
that Passport King. Passport King. We know that already.
Next
How are you
So it
going
has
to
to be
enforce it?
federally recognized. Hold on, Dynast, you know they're federally recognized Native American tribes, right? Whether people want to call them $5 Indians or whatever, but they're recognized by the federal government. All I'm
Okay,
saying
Passport King,
is
that's
that
never gonna happen. You know why? We gonna be against you. We
Can I
not gonna
finish the
Okay,
delineate.
hold
point?
on. Here we go. Passport King, you got 1 minute. At a minute, I'm hard stopping you. Go ahead.
Okay,
Starting now.
got it. I'm not even take a minute. The same way that we have federally recognized Native American tribes of different tribal nations, I'm not gonna get into the whole Dawes roles. We need that from FB, let's say U.S. slavery descendants, because it's different terms. Once you got that and it's clear, it's only specific to these people, whether it's 40 million, 50 million, that's the first step. Then it's easy to do reparations and everything else. I'm done.
Oh, you ain't gonna even get past the first step because I'm gonna
That
petition.
sound like the Freedman.
That
That sound like the
is
Freedman
Hold on.
argument.
Go ahead, Smitty. Go ahead, Smitty.
That was it.
I just ran through this in my mind. The way that you would probably get reparations passed through is, yes, you have to delineate and everything. I'm going to skip past that, but you need to prove that it will benefit the United States in some way if you want to get slavery. That's going to be probably the best way you're going to have to do it. You will have to lobby in the Congress and show them that it will benefit the United States and their reputation internationally. So basically, the best way you would do it is have a sovereign wealth fund for those people that are descendant of U.S. chattel slavery. And since the United States, believe it or not, people don't realize that we're losing power in the world. You will have a group, because Black Americans actually do have a good reputation internationally, that could actually go out and bring back money through the United States. Like the best way would be investing in Africa, using that group of people to go to Africa and invest and make business deals with money and a brand new, I would say, reputation from the United States.
Not with FBA leading it.
But Dynast, can I ask you a question, Dynast?
FBA
I just
got
want
a bad
to finish.
taste in
I just want to ask one question, Dynast.
Wait, I just want to finish.
Hold on. Smitty's not done yet.
Go ahead.
I just want to finish. People don't know about FBA all around the world. The only people that know about are Africans and everything, and everywhere else. But I'm not just saying just Africa. In Asia, I traveled through Europe, Asia, and South America. So I'm saying you can go to these places of Black Americans and actually set up businesses because you get a better treatment than other Black people. It's sad that's like that, but that's how it is.
then you can bring that and bring back profit through the United States. There's multiple ways that you can do that can actually benefit the United States. United States still want connections to Africa. Instead of them trying to do these backdoor deals and everything else, you could do it that way.
How
By
does
using
private
these groups.
business benefit the United States government? You are doing private business. You're talking about doing business for the what? What are you talking about?
If you're bringing back business in the United States, that helps the economy. You're making trade deals and everything else.
But
That
that's
will
not
help.
good for them though, because that begins to transfer wealth to the black people, and they want to stay in the first position of power where they have all the money and all the political power. And so if you begin to have the money, economic power, then now you can capture the political power, and that puts them out of first position. That doesn't benefit them.
losing, but the United States is already losing first position because people are turning to other
but
nations.
they're not gonna let you get first position though.
Can I ask Dennis a question?
I just want to say this, and I'll let you go. If the United States actually want to survive, you have to use your whole population. This is one of the best ways you could do it. So yes, the United States is racist. They have problem. They want to keep black people where they are. But if you actually can pitch to them, because this ain't going to happen. This is going to be a long process. It's going to be a long, drawn out process. It's not going to happen in 10 years or whatever. It's going to be a long process, like anything else that we have done in this country. So that would be the best bet. Yes, but things can change. Things can change like that. But go ahead.
I just want to ask Dennis a question.
Go ahead, Kev.
I just want your opinion and maybe the opinion of the panel in the chat. Do you feel like everyone should make their own claim? Or maybe we as a diaspora should holler at the people that started the slavery in the first place, which is England? Because I feel like it trickled down from England and then it went to Portugal, Spain.
It was Portugal.
It was the Portuguese.
So individual claim as opposed to going for England. That's the choices.
Right. I mean, going for the people, the ones that started the slavery,
and exonerates the United States in the 400 years of what they did to us.
I'm just asking.
I don't get it.
I think Portugal is the first place to go, as Dinah said. If you want to do that, go to Portugal.
This is my thing with all these claims. Ain't nobody still listening. How are we forcing these people to give us anything?
Man, can I say something?
Oh yeah, Bang. Go ahead, Bang. My bad, Bang. Go ahead.
Yeah, go on. You good. You good, man. Let me say this, right? I'm in FBAs, man. Oh my God. I mean, our own president, our own government said slavery was in a crime against humanity. Our own president said it. So then, if our own government said it, right? How are we still out here talking about reparations from the same people? You know,
right.
When you want something, right? You basically forcing another country to give you something, right? You have to have some type of leverage.
Facts.
I mean, FBAs don't have the leverage for the United States government to crack.
They're a joke.
Disagree.
You don't at all. All. Congress not here.
When our ancestors were enslaved, there was people that had medical issues saying that it was
Passport broke. I'm just giving you reality, the way how the United States government.
No, that is not reality.
What do you mean? Okay, you trying to get something done, right? What you got to do? You have to have a lobbyist over there through Congress, right? You got.
Yeah, we told him this already.
They bring all these things. Like, come on, man. You know, okay. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? Look at 19 Key, right? That dude that traveled to Uganda and all that, right? When he traveled to Uganda and see everything, right? No, I'm just giving you leverage control. You have to have some type of leverage control for a government to surrender to your, like, whatever you need.
We got leverage control already. Y'all just don't want to recognize
the same thing in America, how corporations control our politicians. They have massive leverage control, finance as well. Let's be real, man.
You ain't gonna listen.
Listen, the bottom line is reparations ain't gonna be given to us. We gonna have to just take it the same way the white folk took.
A couple hours.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Give me, because 19 Key came back, right? And has a little conflict with Tariq, right, the FBA leader. You know why? 19 Key finally realized what power is. He looked at Uganda and the president, right? He said, God damn, this is a president. He has leverage over cocoa and so many other things, right? That he could squeeze. But then we come up here in America, we call ourselves foundation. What can we leverage to the United States government for them to give us, reparation, right? 19 Key finally come to reality. Oh, golly, we ain't got no leverage. It's just BS talking. Because first of all, it's been what 7 years now.
Wait, Ghana has
FBA
power.
are not. No, I'm talking about the foundation people here that call themselves.
No. You said Ghana has power.
You said Uganda. Uganda.
Ghana has power too. What are you talking about?
They have some power, but they don't have no power to change
Ghana
anything.
that just signed
They have more power than we do. We ain't even got no army.
Right.
Ghana has power.
We're not a sovereign.
Anyway, come on, man. Passport, bro. Are you kidding me? You
No,
gonna fight for
I'm not
reparation,
kidding. I'm
right?
being
Hold on. You gonna fight for reparation, right? By the time you actually want for reparation, I'm gonna end this, right? By the time you fight for reparation, right? Hidden Color 500 will be a theater. I don't know if he's still gonna be alive when Hidden Color 500 gonna be out. I don't know if he's still gonna be alive though. Because right now it's like Hidden Color 7. I mean, for these people to create leverage, they're over there creating movies and stuff like that.
He's making money out of you guys.
But doesn't the leverage come through allies? And if we were smart, we would be allying with African countries. Will we not be allying with African countries?
They don't control any industry. So
no, they have their resources though. They have their resources.
They don't control the resources.
Well, to a degree they do though. To a degree they do. You have nothing.
They don't
You have
control
nothing.
them
You're not
unless
even
they're
lobbying your own government.
giving them up.
They do to a degree. Yes, they do. No, and they're taking more control of their resources.
Come on. 19 Key traveled to Africa, right? 19 Key traveled to Africa, right? And sat down with a president and realized what's power. He's seen it.
The African nations don't have power.
He had to separate himself from FBA.
They're starting to take their power.
He had to.
CARICOM does not have power.
19 Key had to separate himself from FBA because he finally realized
they have more power than you do.
Okay, fellas. Okay, hold on.
Before they have more power than you do.
19 Keys exercising right now.
19 Keys' power comes to the fact that he's an American citizen. That's his power and leverage. That's
not
power and leverage. Yes, it is.
No, that is not
yes,
power
it
and
is.
leverage.
19 Keys
No,
power.
He comes here that he's an American citizen.
That's not his point, though.
Power and leverage, my brother. It is not.
No. You gotta give a concrete example.
No. Okay, let me give you a perfect example, right? Okay.
19 Keys exercising in relation to his deals.
I told you.
The American dollar.
I told you. When 19 Key traveled to Uganda and see with his own eye and sat there with the president.
Okay.
That's
And
what
then
I'm trying to talk
what
about.
happened next? Was he given an exclusive trade deal to mineral rights or to some cash crop of immense value?
He could have been if he had the money.
Oh, no. It's not what could have been.
He was
he given that?
He was lobbying.
So in other words, he went on a hold on. So in other words, for all this talk about 19 Keys and him being some brilliant strategist, the man basically did a freaking tour package of Africa. Anyone with a passport, anyone can do that. This is what I mean by Wakanda fantasies. Come on, man. Seriously.
Pretty much, yeah.
19 Key.
No, it's Wakanda fantasies, man. Y'all embarrass yourselves.
Okay.
But see, this is why I get
Listen. Let me show you what's leverage. Let me see what's leverage. Let me give you a perfect example of leverage.
Let me tell you, any black
perfect example of leverage.
Can meet an African leader. It's not that difficult.
You don't know.
We
Let
mean don't know.
Let me give you a perfect example of what's leverage. Let me give you a perfect. Okay. Passport ball. I understand that we are super poor. I understand that we are super poor. But the people, oh my God,
if a high-earning black American goes to any African country,
both of y'all can't talk at the same time.
Let me speak.
Go ahead,
Okay. You probably like once in a while go to Starbucks, right, and get coffee and all that, right? If the Ghanaian government decided, you know what, we're just gonna hostile, coffee to these Western countries, right? What do you think
Notice
the CEO of
you didn't say something concrete. You're saying if, probable, maybe,
because they can do
sometime in the future.
They can't do it.
Maybe.
We're talking about possible. We don't have reparations yet. This is all hypothetical.
No, because you talking about Ghana. I'm not
Yeah, but you don't have reparations, and we're talking about getting reparations.
Hold on.
Bang.
Concrete action in the
Bang,
U.S.
you saying if Ghana withheld their coffee beans from exporting them, they would have leverage?
Okay, so when does 19
have
Keys
to have
start
force
exporting?
against
Okay,
force.
good.
What force
When
do
does
FBA
19
has?
Keys start
What
his
force do Ghana have?
coffee beans?
Are you kidding me?
Ghana don't have that force to actually stop shipping coffee.
But
We gotta
they got more than what you got.
That is right. You
Way
got
more.
this
19 key stars.
You're not a country. You're not a state. You're not even a city.
Foundation FBA.
You're not even a company.
On a piece of paper.
I'm asking.
Oh my God.
How ridiculous you guys are. Man,
When does he start shipping coffee?
If they should have been did that. They should have been did that if they were actually willing to do that. Why haven't they done it? They actually just signed a deal with the European Union. They're not even looking to even do that. They still want to be with the white man. So if they could do this and if they could do that,
do what?
Get out of here.
Do what?
I'm in the middle of this.
See, this
Use their resources as leverage. We got to be honest. They're not going to do that.
Well, they're not going to do that for you. They're not going to do it for FBA.
Take FBA out of it.
They're not going to. Yeah, because you're not a group. You're not a group. You're a lineage. And you have a lot of interest.
But take us out of it. Will they actually do that for any other country? Will they actually do that and stop that? I hear what 19 Keys is doing.
Do it for themselves.
Exactly.
Passport, bro. You compare FBA to the Ghanaian government when it comes to leverage around the world.
What leverage does Ghana have? The passport is one of the most worthless passports on earth. You know how many nations don't accept a Ghana passport? Yeah. I'm not just passport bro in name. I know these things. The Ghana passport is worthless. It's one of the
that's neither here nor there.
The Ghana passport is one of the
that means nothing.
It's actually not
the
worthless.
argument to the point of the argument. That means
I know about 10 countries that take it.
Straw man point.
You missing the whole thing.
One of the weakest passport
bro.
So what? So what? It's a weak passport.
You are
lost. See, he just said it. So what?
So what? Because it's not a point. It's not. It means it's not a weak passport.
Because I know a bunch of countries that take it. I know a bunch of countries that take it.
And it's not true.
That flies in the face of these Wakanda forever fantasies. Look. I'm not hating on passport.
But reparations is a fantasy too because you ain't got it. Reparations is a fantasy too because you don't have it. So we're fantasizing in here, right?
I guess everybody is.
Do you have
reparations? What Ghana gonna do with their coffee? Ghana do have a strong passport. They have one of the stronger passports in Africa.
Right.
But we're acting like they're actually going to do anything where they're going to put leverage.
Who gives a man? Forget about.
We're talking hypothetically anyway. We don't have reparations, right? We're talking about how to get it.
So we're talking about how to get it.
Yep, we're both in the same place. Exactly. We're both in the same place. The Africans are weak and the Black Americans are weak. We can't get reparations.
But if we come together,
we're in a way stronger place.
No. Don't you ever say
that. Yes. We don't have reparations.
Don't you ever say that.
We don't have reparations in Africa.
I agree with Bang. We're not weak. We're not weak. We're not weak. Africa's not weak.
What leverage? What army have we got that can threaten the U.S.?
That's not the only power. That's not the only type of power that there is. There's economic power and there's things called sanctioning. You know, if Africans were together, they could sanction the United States.
What country is Africa going to sanction? What country is Africa going to sanction?
Like Burkina Faso, like the AES. They put sanctions on the Western world.
Oh my God!
They did.
Ghana just in Ghana and Algeria just in circles.
The AES put some sanctions on the Western world.
Oh my God! You live in a fantasy world. You talk about passport king. You just as bad. You just as bad as him. In my honest opinion.
Hold on, Passport
King. Can I just talk? Can I just talk to you for a minute, brother?
Are you? These guys.
Let me just reason with him. Let me just reason with him.
Okay, go ahead.
African nations to FBA.
Let me reason with Passport King. Okay. Passport King. You see.
Are you saying on gold passport, bro?
Yeah.
So you're only powerful to a group of black people in the United States. Yeah, you can show them, but you can't show nobody else.
Are you saying on all reserve? What leverage do
Passport King, you see, by one second, over the years, Passport King, you see, how many years we've been talking about reparations, but you only take one African leader, you know, to actually advance it to the United Nations. One second, right? Let me just, you can come back. Then you can come back. You see, yeah, so you only take one African leader, you know, just one from one state, Ghana, to take it on behalf of, you know, because when I read it, it's actually on behalf of other groups, okay, for it to be advanced. Because, you know, when you're a leader of a nation, you know, you're leading, you know, millions of people. and also you're speaking for millions of people, billions probably, because you're speaking for African continent and Africans in the diaspora. So he took it onto the United Nations, and you can see a lot of countries have followed. And this is something that, unfortunately, as I said the other day, the Black Caucus in the Democrats and the Republican weren't able to achieve over the years. So you can see they have some kind of leverage already there. So there's one step they have taken.
Africa.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, go on.
Hold on.
Yeah, but I was going to finish though. But,
Let's stick to okay. My bad. Let's stick to geopolitics, right? Let's stick to geopolitics, right? If the people that control this country that says that we need Africa for us to be prosper, who the hell FBAs coming up here compare African countries to their so-called piece of paper garbage?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that because you know what, Bang, I wouldn't say that because
no. Piece of paper garbage, something that
having a different
FBA is a fringe group. They're on a periphery.
No, we both have no power. We both have good and bad in our population. Let's make that clear. It's not just FBA. Even in Africa, we have dusty ones. Let's be real. But what I'm trying to say is, yeah.
When Bang started talking, he had an American accent. When he got angry, his African accent comes out.
No, but okay, wait. My thing is, I just want to say this. I want to say this. The reason why we doubt it because we don't believe it because y'all taking the opposite steps to achieve that goal. That's what we're seeing right now.
We need to work together. This is the
right
main.
Now, I just want to say with the AES. The European Union is encircling them. They offer all this advancement and development to Ghana for the deal for the security rights, along with Algeria, I believe it is. So they're encircling them. The three countries that are actually trying. So the three countries are actually trying to change something of West Africa. The other African nations aren't helping them. So that's why I say I'm like, I don't really believe it. That's why I'm saying.
I got your point. No, one second, Pastor King. 1 second. You're going somewhere. This is why I always actually recently questioned also because John Mahama went to the United Nations and called the Western European nation bad and evil and stuff like that. But at the same time, he's signing deals with them. Sometimes it's kind of a bit contradictory, right? Let's look at it from as an African. On the side of the Atlantic, I'm looking at that thinking, okay, you just went over there and called these people evil. They did wrong. They're bad people. But then you next day you're signing deals with them. They're gonna encroach, the territory of the three brothers who are trying to gain independence from them. So what are you talking about? What is your agenda? So I can see where. A lot of the Pan-Africans or the FBAs, because this is not just FBA that are questioning this. Even some Pan-Africans are actually questioning this, intention. They're thinking, they're thinking, why is what's going on here? So we need to, that's this, but this whole noise is not helping us looking at things rationally and talking about the right things. Okay, we're not having intellectual conversation in here today, which is quite saddening, really.
We don't have
Africa. Look at currently, right? In America, right? 50 governors, right? 50 states, 50 governors, right? None of them are FBAs. None of them. In the state, the most powerful person is the governor. And then these people want to come up here and compare themselves to African nations. Actually,
I say nobody's of any public officials that are FBA.
Hold on, Bang. Let me get you a little bit more power. Because every election cycle, from midterms to major elections, the Democrats, they do it the wrong way. But they
not a mayor, not even a mayor. Not even a mayor is the FBA.
But also we have the FBA leaders like Obama.
Atlanta's Black American. The mayor.
We have Black Americans. We're not talking about Black Americans. We're talking about FBA. The
fringe. We made sure Kamala Harris lose because more than half FBA stayed home.
So for powerless people, we certainly did that.
You make sure.
That's a
And
joke.
guess
My
what?
brother,
With all these
50
ice raids
governors,
going on,
none
you know
of
what
them
we
is
doing?
FBA.
We eating
50
popcorn,
governors,
we're
none of
drinking
them is
soda.
FBA.
Hold
You gonna
on.
blow a
What
gasket,
leverage do
man.
you
Take it
have?
easy.
It's a passport, bro.
What
This
leverage
is
do you
more
have?
Hey,
about.
I
It's
gotta
more
read these
about
super
us.
chats. I gotta read these super chats. Passport King is correct. The 1870 census is the touchstone, regardless of intra-America trade. Thank you for $10 holla, Chris Shaw
Thank
Grinder.
you.
Gift of God Star North. Thank you for the £3. For the panel, how we going to claim in the UK? Joseph Safari, thank you for $5 holla. Ghana does have power influence. They influence over 125 nations to vote in favor. A power that FBA does not have and could never, more than FBA ever. Okay.
Woo! That was
I
a
mean,
tough message.
I mean, African countries have mineral resources, okay? It's only because they're not using their leverage right. If they are using it right,
Thank you.
they do have
Thank you.
power,
Thank you.
okay?
Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
because as
That's
I
what
said
I'm trying to
earlier,
say. Thank you.
as I said earlier also in the past, if the African Union is really serious, for example, let's say ECOWAS, for example, right? If ECOWAS is serious, they could place a total ban on all export of minerals, for example, to these companies, because we do have the beers that are still in the continent mining diamonds, without Africa still be twisted. Okay,
But
we
Africa,
have Unilever.
Africa,
Yeah.
right?
Hold on. Bang, you've been
60% of the world cocoa come from Ghana and Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast.
Those
Yeah,
countries
go
share
on.
borders. Those
But
countries
Yeah.
share borders. You know what? 60% of the world cocoa. So
Yeah,
what
but we
got
have to
you're
have
more
the
level
will.
do
headed.
some
Yes,
do
baby.
some
Yes,
We
You're
gotta
FBA
have the
Africa.
will.
You're more level headed.
We got to have the
And
will
I
to do
just want
those
to say
all of
this.
these things we're talking
Do you
about.
Yeah.
do you believe deep down that they will actually invoke that power that they have? I'm not saying.
No, and that's the thing, bro. Y'all might have the resources, but y'all not gonna put them on the line for y'all's freedom
Yeah.
or ours.
Africa,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking you deep down.
But that's changing though.
Yeah.
That's
Is
changing
it?
as we
No,
see it.
What do you mean
I
it's
don't think
Look at
so.
changing?
I don't.
Zambia,
Just signed a
Botswana,
deal
and
with
Let me
Namibia.
answer his question, God. Oh, God. Let me answer his question.
Okay,
Van,
go
one
ahead.
second. Let me answer. Okay. No, they wouldn't, because you know why? They're a bunch of selfish people.
Thank you.
They're all
But what is
they're all there
Zambia,
for themselves.
Botswana, and
But hold on,
Namibia
hold
doing
on, hold
though?
on, hold on,
What
hold on.
everybody
Let
talks
me
about the AES, but what about Zambia,
Yeah.
Botswana, and Namibia? What are they
hold on.
doing?
Shot. Hold
The
on.
the
Hold on one second,
SADC,
please.
you know.
Let me respond.
Okay.
Let
All
me
right.
respond
Okay.
to what I was trying to say when I said leverage, right? When you have leverage, right? Even if you don't use it or you don't use it, it's still there. What I'm trying to say is, what
you don't
leverage
use it,
do
it's pointless.
FBA has compared to that?
Man, is your whole point
None.
saying that African countries are better than FBA? Congratulations. You have your own land, you have your own country, and you ain't using
We
shit.
all got the resources, bro, but y'all not
You ain't doing
using
shit
them.
with it. Fine, you got more than us, but you ain't doing shit with it.
But
So quit
they are
yelling
doing
that
more
shit.
than
it's true though. We in the continent, with all the mineral resources we have, with all the advancements we trying to. One second, one mic.
Hold on, just because you repeat something multiple times don't make it true. Let me tell you the
Yeah.
power that FBA's
Yeah,
had.
just because.
South Africa,
Okay.
when it was in apartheid, a large part of the reason
you
why
might have bring that
Are
up.
you talking about African Americans?
No, this is
You might have bring
documented.
that up,
No,
Passport.
FBA wasn't even around then.
Oh,
FBA.
Jesus,
You might have bring
FBA
that up.
wasn't around
You might have bring that
then.
up, Passport,
Then use
bro.
this.
Right.
Black
The name
Americans.
wasn't
Because
there.
You
hold
ain't
on.
counting
Then
you.
You
use
talking
Black
about
You
African
ain't counting you,
Americans?
man.
Hold on. U.S. slavery
But
descendants.
let him make his quick point, man.
Hold on.
Well, he's talking about
US
African
slavery
Americans, so he's not
descendants.
talking about no
Shane, chill the
FBAs.
hell out,
Hold on.
man.
U.S. slavery descendants during the 80s into the 90s put pressure on the U.S. government to divest and U.S. corporations, and it worked. See, Africa acts like a memory hole. I don't know. It's like y'all got goldfish memory.
But
in
they're
that
saying
continent.
African Americans are not FBA
The
though.
U.S. government did not divest
African Americans,
are not
absolutely.
FBA. We're delineating from y'all. We delineating from y'all. Are y'all delineating from us?
Hold on, Shay, if we're so
Black
irrelevant, why do you
African
bring us up
Americans
every
and
other
Caribbeans.
word?
Well, because you're in the
No, you
conversation.
feel some type of way about the word FBA. It's cool that you don't like
you were a
it,
hate
but you
group.
give it more power the more you speak about it.
You're a hate
If they're
group.
not actually legitimate, then don't even speak about them.
You're a hate group.
You worried about FBA? First of all, do you know the leader of FBA? Hold on a
If they
second,
want to
because
call
I've been
themselves
quiet for 30
FBA, so
minutes.
be it. Let it be.
Hold on, I've
Okay,
been
go on.
quiet for 30 minutes, man. Do you know the leader
Yeah,
of
go on.
FBA? Your name is Passport King, right?
Flag. We don't attack y'all, but the minute we say we're American, y'all trying to shame us. Oh, you with the white man. You're
Stop
the white
playing the
man's this.
victim,
You're the
man.
white man. It's all this
We're
gaslighting.
just not the same,
Hey,
bro.
Pastor, let me holler at him because I've been quiet for 30 minutes.
Y'all want us to be
Yeah,
ashamed
let him
of
speak.
the
I've been quiet for 30 minutes, man. Let me just say this one thing. Pastor, let me say this one thing.
Go ahead.
You know you're a leader of FBA. First of all, you have a name called
don't play
Pastor.
that game.
Hold
We
on,
don't
no.
got
We're gonna play that game. We're gonna play it. Get your remote out.
Okay.
So we talking about your leader, the same guy that talks about FBA. Did you know your name, Passport King? Do you know he's against the Passport Bros? He says that ninja's
so what?
tricking, but yet 10 years ago he's in
Hold on.
Brazil
Guess what?
flexing,
And
telling you
guess
how
what?
much
That's
the
his
ladies
opinion.
cost.
Hold on. Guess what? That's his opinion.
But this is what I'm saying. This is the grift. Because after this FBA check runs out, after that FBA money runs out, he's going to go right back to something else. Maybe he'll be on Tucker Carlson with the conservatives. I'm trying to tell you, don't fall for it. Listen, I was down with the FBA cult. I was down with it, bro. And then I woke up to it. I was down with it too, brother.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
No, hold on. I got you. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you rock. I'm gonna let you rock.
We gotta slow down.
Why did we bring this man up so much?
I've been quiet for 30 minutes.
In a lineage and leave a lineage.
Let the brother talk. Jeez.
Go ahead. You got it. Passport, you got it.
Hold on. You cannot be in a lineage and voluntarily leave. U.S. slavery descendants. Some go by FBA, some go by ADOS, some go by.
And after that FBA check runs out, then you ain't let me finish. After that FBA check runs out, what's the next grift gonna be?
So if you don't want to use FBA, we use U.S. slavery descendants. Now, what's your argument? Let's use that instead.
No, let's go back to the FBA. Because first, what? Okay, let me ask you this. What happened? Why can't you answer the question of what happened? Because your leader said, hold on, your leader said 10 years ago, he said we need to all go back to Africa and we need to get in touch with our African roots. What changed? Just tell me what changed. No, you're not answering my question. I just want to know what changed to make him feel this way.
We're adults here. We're not going to.
We are adults, so why can't you answer an adult question? What changed from being a Pan-African to being a
FBA?
What changed from being a Pan-African going on radio stations?
Pretend FBA never existed. Let's use U.S. slavery descendants instead.
No, let's not use that. Let's use African American, which most of us call ourselves African American. Let's use that.
Most people call themselves black.
That's kryptonite to you. It's kryptonite because you're not. Are you of African descent? Wait. Are you of African descent? Passport. Are you of African descent?
No, he's not.
Okay, so if you're not of African descent, then you're Cherokee or something, right?
He's foundation, man.
No, okay, no, but
I'm foundational black American.
Some foundational black Americans identify as being of African descent. Hold on. Some say that they are descent of Africans. Some say they're not. They say that they're indigenous to this country. Are you of African descent or not?
Most FBAs have Creek descent, have Cherokee descent.
Okay, so I'm asking you, are you of African descent? That's a yes or no question.
Dang, hold on, let me answer.
Oh my gosh, these niggas.
That's a yes or no question.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, one mic, please, guys. One mic.
I got you question. What's your I got you question? Come on.
Are you of African descent?
He's not.
Am I of African descent?
It's a yes or no, bro.
Everyone on earth is of African descent. That's your answer.
No. Are you of recent? Are you of recent African descent?
All right, you know what?
Are you of recent African descent?
Everybody on earth is of African descent. Now, what's the next?
Are you of recent African descent?
From Africans that were placed on ships and brought to America.
If you're talking just a few decades ago, hell no. I'm a U.S. citizen.
So you're indigenous. So you're indigenous to this country. Because it's okay now. If you're indigenous to this country, then we don't have a conversation.
We was here before,
and you're not eligible for reparations. You're not eligible for reparations.
Unbelievable.
We don't have nothing to talk about really.
Okay, hold on. I got.
Larry, are you actually hearing that?
I
know it's ridiculous.
And your claim is with the Indian nation. Right. You need to go to the Indian reservation of the nation.
Exactly.
Yeah, Diana, you gotta stop letting these cats.
He's foundation. He's foundation to a country where he has never controlled no resource.
You have
see how confused we are as a people? You see how messed up we are as a people?
No, we're not messed up.
Don't have no leverage.
What's messed up?
But he's foundation to a country.
You know what's messed up? What's messed up was the affirmative action scam hustle when they started including groups that should have never been included, including white women. This is what's causing
That
a
is
lot
true.
of problems in the black community today, because you get all these
not
other
black,
groups
you
who are very
Indian.
tribal, who look out for their own. They
Are you
advocate
Cherokee?
against us. Hold on, they scheme against
Are you
us.
Apache?
Hold on.
Because all those
Comanche?
native groups had slaves.
Are
Every
you a
last one of them.
All
Navajo?
these groups that come in.
Navajo,
Let's take this
Choctaw.
hypothetical. Let's not talk hypothetical.
Man,
Look
passport,
at,
passport. One
hold on,
question
look
for
at-
you,
look
man.
Are you a
at what's
Seminole?
going on in Somalia.
Oh my God, why are we talking about this shit? Like,
Exactly. But
Yeah, let's
passport,
get back to the
passport, man. Can you speak
reparations
your language?
conversation.
What?
Passport, can you speak your language?
You mean English?
No, English is not your language.
No,
But you're a
I ain't gonna
Navajo.
play that game. No. You're speaking
you
English
speak
right
your
now
language?
and ask me what language I speak. You know how retarded that is?
Are you a
seriously,
Cherokee?
No, you foundation to America.
Do you
English
wake
is not
up
your
and
foundation
smoke
language.
like 20 joints, or do
Right.
you just tap a hammer against your head until you hear something like knock loose? What kind of question is that?
Passport. You're a foundation of this country,
I
right?
got you.
You
Question.
indigenous to
You're
this
asking
country.
me in
So what is your
English,
language?
what
Speak your
language do I
language.
speak?
Yeah, what is
English is
your
not your
indigenous language?
language.
Hold on.
It's a simple question. What is your indigenous language?
Now that I think about
What
it,
is
what's your
our
first
indigenous language?
What
Can
country
you
are you
speak it?
from? Hold on.
Me?
What country are you from?
Do
Are
I'm,
you a US
I'm so-called, well, I'll use your term. I'm FBA all around, brother. All my family from
I was
here.
talking to Bang. I was
So
talking to Bang.
I'll
We
let
can
you.
call you too.
Excuse
Bang, where
me?
are you from?
Me?
Bang, is your name? Are you going by
Bang.
Bang?
Yeah.
No, you haven't told us. Are you an Iroquois?
Bang, you Fulani, huh?
See, this the gaslighting and game playing y'all like to do.
No.
No.
Are you Crow?
Passport.
No.
Passport.
What?
Passport.
Hold on.
Passport.
oh my
Passport.
God.
Hold on. Passport.
All of these
Passport. You said you're not African, right?
All of these
Okay,
red
you're
herring
indigenous to
arguments,
America.
all these bad
Nothing wrong with that. But what is your
all these
language?
ad
What
hominem
is your
Are you a
language?
Kiowa?
One thing. Y'all do
What
not want
is your
things to
language?
change. Y'all want it's English, Bang, unlike yours.
No,
That's not
English
that's
is
not
not
our
your
language. That's
indigenous
not our
language.
native
What do you mean
language.
no?
No.
What do you mean
I mean,
no?
no,
English
it
came
is,
Not
from
your
but you
England.
indigenous
know.
language.
What do you mean no?
English is not your indigenous
English
language.
came from England, so that's not our native language. That's
No,
No,
so-called
it is.
it's the
FBA.
language you've been
So what's
speaking
our
since we came
FBA
to the United
language?
States. But
You
no,
don't
we're
understand
not
the question, man.
We're not gonna play these games.
No,
'Cause
play
you
the
only
game. We
know
gotta
this
play.
You're a
We gotta play.
grifter.
Hold
I
You're
on.
don't
a
know what
con
our native
artist.
language is.
Hold on. There are Chinese Americans and Asian Americans who are 4 generations in. They don't speak their parents or grandparents or
But
great
they know
grandparents.
their native language is Chinese. Come on,
Y'all
dog.
would never go to any of them
what
and
is
talk
your
about English
language?
ain't your language.
How
Y'all
do you
only
say
want to
hi?
play these little
How do you say
I
how you
got
doing?
you games
What
with
is your
FBA.
language?
That's
What's the
where
name
we
of
be
it?
calling out. Y'all
Ebonics.
hold on. Y'all don't do this with Jamaicans.
Ebonics is actually acceptable.
What did you just say?
What? I don't even like the term
These are the
African
people.
American.
These are the people that said they have
that.
more
I
leverage
rather
than
go
It
to
is
other
actually
countries.
acceptable because if
These
you
are the
actually know
people.
how to speak
Hold on.
Ebonics or
Hold on. I
AAVE,
don't
that
think
is
that's
different
the
than
answer
regular
because you know
Yeah,
English.
let's get back
These
to
are
the
the people
topic,
that these
bro.
are the people that
Bang,
Yeah, let's
claim.
get back
bang,
to the
bang,
reparations
bang.
These are the
Now,
people
conversation.
that
come on,
claim
Passport,
that
can you
they
been
have more
talking this
leverage
whole
than African
episode, bro?
countries.
and
Imagine
Bang.
that.
When we
cosplaying
we
as
speaking about
Black
the leverage
Americans
in
trying to speak
Africa, you
Ebonics.
have to
So
be
that's not no
honest, bro.
insult.
Africans are not gonna use those resources
It's
to
not
further
about
the
not going to
reparations movement,
use.
bro.
If the leverage is there, forget about using it. But
They don't
but
have
if you don't have
leverage,
no
man. We
leverage,
live in a
you cannot say
fantasy
somebody
world.
that has
What
leverage.
leverage?
You
equal
talking
to
to an
them.
African
It
American
makes
right
no
now. You're not
sense.
talking to an FBA, brother. You talking to an African American. We don't
Okay,
have
my bad,
any
my bad.
resources to withhold. Y'all have them, but are not using them. So what's the point of
Africans don't
having
even
them
got
and not
resources.
using them?
They don't own
No,
their
Exactly.
but hold on though, but hold on though, but hold
Well,
on
what
though.
is the point of this
It's there.
tit for tat
It's there.
conversation
That don't mean
amongst
they cannot
people
use
who
it.
all need power? Like right now, we're trying to get into a
Exactly.
competition of who's shittier. Let's act like adults and have a constructive conversation about
No,
how
you
we
have
gain
to.
power.
He's an FBA. He's
Well, I
an FBA.
agree
Yeah,
with you.
How we
I
gain
Bang,
agree.
that's
is
the whole point.
withholding
Like
the resources and
y'all
using
give
them as
FBA all
leverage.
the power. Y'all
All right,
literally
can we
give them
just
all
start?
the power.
Can we let's start this conversation intellectually. Start from Ellery and go down, please.
Since y'all got
Ellery, you make your point because you've been quiet for a while.
Africa,
I
don't know. A lot of people want to talk, so I don't know.
Be their attack dogs.
Yeah, Kato want to come on,
groups.
Actually,
that's
yeah,
what you're mad about.
Hey, boy, you gotta share. You literally talking the whole episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop, man.
Y'all know you're not gonna be able to scam off US.
Let's let Kato talk. Kato hasn't said anything. Kato, what do you have to say?
Thank you. I don't know if my sound is being messed up, but I just wanted to piggyback off of what I said last time about if you actually read the resolution, right, a lot of the people who are beefing on this panel specifically came together for this resolution, right? So we say AU versus AES versus CARICOM versus Black Americans. The Black Caucus sponsored and endorsed the resolution. AU sponsored and endorsed the resolution. CARICOM sponsored and endorsed the resolution. AES sponsored and endorsed the resolution. It's on the very first page. So, like, my question for the
and they
panel.
did that because it's non-binding. They don't have to give anything up to say that, this is a grave crime.
That's true.
My main point is, if all of these different groups of people, some of them with separate interests, right? The AES doesn't necessarily get along with AU. If they can come to the table and sort of get along with this specific thing, why is it so difficult for this panel?
It's non-binding. They didn't have to sacrifice anything for this to be in agreement with
it. It has no teeth at all. It has no teeth at all. It doesn't really do anything.
It has teeth. They're not giving anything up.
Respectful
conversation. It's a Trojan horse to try to scam reparations by Ghana. That's the real thing that gets me upset. It's not that it has no teeth. The thing is, it's an attempted scam that the United States, even if they did it for the wrong reasons, was right to shut it down. The Ghana president was trying to run a scam. Oh, don't believe me? I put the link in the chat. I'll put it in the main chat for the YouTube.
It's not necessarily Ghana.
If
not necessarily Ghana.
Endorsed it, if the AU endorsed it, if CARICOM endorsed it, if the AES endorsed it, what specific unique information do you know that's better than these diplomats?
No, it's still a scam because here's the thing. Ghana, despite what many people have stated, and they try to call, what do you want to call it? FBA, U.S. slavery descendants, liars, but we didn't understand. Y'all try to clown us. Ghana is trying to use this to get funds and resources that they're going to control, and it won't make it to CARICOM, and it sure as hell won't make it. If Ghana gets any resources, it's going to go in the president's Swiss bank account. That's
beyond non-binding. There is no language in that resolution stating it's only going to Ghana.
Because that was
we have to read, right? As Black people, we have the privilege of other Black people writing down what they're doing.
Was going to come.
We need to start reading the words of our brothers and sisters.
Yes, we did read it, and it says nothing's coming from this.
Yes.
Okay. So
and also, they did say,
then why are we angry and fighting over nothing? Right? It's either they're scamming us or they're not getting anything.
No, they are
scamming.
I can explain.
No one in this panel has justified to me why the Black Caucus supported it, but you don't. Like, I don't understand what y'all know more than the Black Caucus.
Because nobody really takes the Black Caucus serious.
Yeah, I don't either.
The Black Caucus are tedders, and also overall, the Black Caucus is DNC lapdogs. If the DNC told them to jump off a bridge, guess what? They're going to jump off a bridge.
I believe that.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. Also,
so let's not play
what does that have to do with all these groups coming together for reparations and you being on the net?
Guess what?
Doing
Here's
nothing?
the thing. We're not stopping them. They can come together. Just keep U.S. slavery descendants, i.e. freemen, aka foundational Black Americans. Some go by ADOS, some go by Soulon, some go by DOS. Keep us out of it. If you want to, we're not stopping.
You're saying keep us out of it. You are not a powerful.
If they want to, go ahead.
The powerful Black people have already supported the resolution. You keep saying us like you represent
but most
us.
Black Americans really don't support that shit.
Most Black Americans don't even know about it. Most Black Americans
ain't really fucking with it.
Aren't even involved with
you know why we don't
reparations.
support it? Because we're not dumb. We got access to records.
It's not because we're not dumb. Most Black Americans do not know about the resolution.
Hold on, no.
Wait, so
we do know.
Hold up.
The average Black American does not know about the resolution.
What?
So
much less read it.
Are you kidding?
Yes.
So I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Majority don't know about it.
The average Nigerian hasn't read the resolution. The average
okay, I'll give you that. I give you that.
The average Black person has not
I give you that. Yes, I agree. Most people in the diaspora don't know about it, and that's part of the problem. They haven't actually talked or reached out to the group of people that might actually disagree with things. That's another problem that they actually hasn't. They only talk to a few group that is not actually unifiedly looked in a positive way in the Black American community. Same thing in Brazil and same thing in Colombia. If you ask most of them, they don't know. But out of people in the diaspora, Black Americans probably do know about it more than most people. If you go to the person in the Caribbean, if you do go to the Caribbean, they probably don't know about it. CARICOM is probably moving and doing this without the consent of the people. But Black Americans, you have to give us this, are more involved in the reparation movements than most other groups.
This glass
So yes,
movement is all
it
over
may
the
be.
country.
Hold up, passport. So yes, it may be the minority, but it is a loud and big minority. I ain't gonna say all 40 million of us actually know
I'm
about
glad
it.
you brought that up. Smitty, do you think us becoming
And
turtles
see, here's the
going
thing
to
I
our
You
don't
breaking
like.
you breaking up. You breaking up.
or
You breaking up.
my bad,
You breaking up.
my Wi-Fi fucked up. Can you guys hear me now?
Still a little
So
sad.
yeah. But
See,
But
it's
I'm
not.
just saying, like, stepping away from the
It's a lot
table is
of
only gonna remove our
disingenuousness.
power. Like, our voices
You're
aren't gonna be
breaking up
heard if
bad.
we get silent.
You're breaking up real bad.
yeah, it's bad.
You sound like you sound like you
Here's the
transforming.
problem. There's a lot of bad faith arguments, disingenuous, gaslighting, and sleight of hand trickery. We've seen it just from the Ghanaian president and the article he wrote in Guardian. People trying to say there's no money involved. You go down to paragraph 11, and let me put in the YouTube chat. You're going to see where he's talking about financial compensation. So it's not just a resolution. It's a scheme to try to get country to say, okay, this is the greatest crime against humanity, and there's no argument for me there. But then the next step becomes, now we need to do restitution and redress, and then the Ghanaians, we should set up a fund and we control it. That's where it's heading towards. It's a scam. It's a finesse. And
Listen,
the United
the
States
bottom
was
line is
ready to
this.
shut it
Bottom
down.
line is this, right? I'm just gonna crush this whole thing. If you see what the president and what America's doing with going to Iran, going to Venezuela, I'm just gonna say it like this, and this is gonna kill this whole thing. If we're not prepared to do what the white man's been doing for 400 years, not by asking for what they want, by taking what they want, then we ain't got nothing else to talk about. That's just the bottom line.
That's not
They're
going to
not
happen
gonna
in the
give
United
you
States.
anything. They're not going to give you anything. And I don't care how many legislations you vote for, how many times you go to Congress and ask, can you please pay us reparations? If you're not prepared to take it, let's move on.
I said it earlier. The best
Black
way.
Americans, we are not co-signing that kind of talk. That's the kind of talk that gets
I'm
people
not co-signing. I'm just telling the truth.
The
I'm
best
telling
way.
the truth.
No, because you talk about taking.
I'm telling the truth.
Nope.
The
If you're
best
not
way that
prepared
you
to
will
take
get it is
we're
prove
going to go
yourself
through
useful
legal,
for the
proper
United States.
channels and get redressed. Let's frame it the right way. Please frame it correctly. Because when
the legal,
way you
okay,
said it, I'm not
go through the
accusing you.
legal
It
proper
could be
channels. It ain't go.
misinterpreted.
Listen, we've been
Hold
going
on,
through the legal channels for 400 years. If you ain't prepared to take it, then let's change the subject.
Hold on.
Did the
If someone in the
Japanese
federal
take
government,
it
how much
though?
you said just now, you know they can start a case. They could claim, oh wow, this is a hate group.
No,
We
wait,
need
hold
to
on,
start
homie.
investigating.
Homie, did the Japanese take their reparations though? I'm just curious.
Did they take it?
Yeah. Did they
That's a
take
very
it
good point
officially?
you mentioned.
But they're not. But okay, well, let me ask you
Hold
this:
on. I'm glad you
are they
mentioned
going to
it.
give us reparations?
Hold on. It's not about give. Hold on. It's not about give. Let's go. Let's follow the line of reason about the Japanese. I'm glad you mentioned that. You know why? Because whatever legal framework existed that allowed Japanese Americans to get reparation, the same way the legal frameworks, precedents, as is known in law, exist that allow various Native American tribes to get reparations.
There was no legal framework. There was no legal framework. They just gave it to them. They're not giving us nothing.
Nah, they
That's
lobbied
the
for that
correct
shit. They didn't
way
just give it to them.
to go along to get reparations. One of the ways, not the only way, but one of the legal ways. But this nonsense of we just going to take it. No, we're not playing those games because that's how you. Not saying I'm not accusing you of being an agent. So I'll just say that kind of careless talk.
Nah, you can't put that on me, buddy.
No. It's
I got
careless.
too many warrants for
not
that.
careless. It's reckless. That kind of reckless talk is what they use to rationalize.
And that's a deflection that your Lord and Savior Tariq Christ talks.
Because
that's what I'm talking about.
You're Black
So
American,
since we're
right?
not
You heard
going
of
to take it or ask for it, if we keep asking for it, we're not going to get it, then we might as well just drop it.
Wait, hold up, password. Hold up, passport. Come on, bro. You've been talking a lot. You've been talking a lot. We know about I'm sure all the Black Americans know about that. We know about all the history, but let's talk about what's happening now.
And that's why
Wait, bruh. Chill out.
Yeah, passport, can you let us speak for a little bit, bro?
Yeah,
chill out. Look, all right. The whole thing is that You have to prove that it will help out. Nobody does anything for free. That's why with the whole thing with Ghana, them getting reparations on morals and everything, that's BS. Everybody's going to do something for a reason. So I actually wouldn't have a issue if Ghana wanted to speak on our behalf and actually did a better job promoting and figuring out the best way that everybody would have actually benefited. It was clear who was getting the money. Bruh, come on, bruh. Like, yeah, thank you.
One mic, please. One mic.
That would have been better if they actually did a better job presenting this instead of going through sneaky channels and talking to people that don't really represent the interests of Black America. Because the Black Caucus has been going to Ghana for years and everything and doing all this stuff. So that makes me think, okay, they already been working on this for a while because Black Americans are growing more reckless with the Democratic Party. Another thing is to say that there isn't people representing or doing these things. There are. It goes state to state. You see it in California. You see it in Illinois. You see it in New York. You see it in Virginia. There's other people doing this. So right now, Black is building up to a crescendo. People don't believe it, but if you actually look at this is happening in Black America. And another thing, for us to get it, it'll have to show us how we're useful to the United States. First of all, to have such a large wage gap or wealth gap between Black America and the rest of America, that doesn't help America. That really doesn't.
You're framing it incorrect. That's why I'm glad you brought that up. I'm not trying to break your train of thought. How is it not going to benefit America with let's just say U.S. slavery descendants, because I know y'all lose your minds over FBA. U.S. slavery descendants were U.S. citizens. You think, let's say what the woman, a peace of mind, whatever she went by, let's say around her number was correct, that all 40 million or 50
that
million.
Will help America.
Hold on. Let's say
America.
All 40 to 50 million got about $5 to $7 million. You think we're just going to all pick up and just go live in Africa?
No.
Do you really think that's going to happen?
No.
So where we going? Hold on. So where are we going to live and work?
It's going to be United States. Yes, United States is going to help the economy.
Pause. So that means, hold on. So any FBAs that buy homes, buy land, start businesses, invest in businesses, isn't that investing back in the United States of America?
Yes, but it also helps because Black Americans.
Hold on.
Did you not just hear what I just said?
Yes.
Did you not hear what I just said? I'm going to continue speaking, bro.
Is that a yes?
It's going to help America, and it's going to help with other deals internationally. Because believe it or not, America got a bad deal dealing with other people. They got a bad deal and they have a bad reputation dealing with other people. But when you send Black Americans that have some independence to actually invest and do other things, that will help America. People say, "Oh, it's an independent business." Nothing's truly independent because you're going to need protection, and the government is actually going to approve of it. Certain things, so you have to prove it's useful to the United States. It's not impossible, because I hear that this was impossible. We said that it was impossible through a bunch of things like slavery, like through civil rights. There's niggas that's always going to say that, and also I think that if Black Americans ain't going to get reparations, then nobody else will, because they're always going to look at the United States for guidance, especially in the Western world.
Not true. Not to cut you off, man, but
they're doing it now.
Hold on. You just had a representative saying that illegal aliens who are suffering trauma. Goddamn
well, nobody's gonna support that shit.
You might be shocked. These white liberals are crazy. Hold on. Just the fact to have the audacity to say that speaks volumes.
It's an Indian woman. She's an Indian woman that said that.
Why aren't any what? What was that?
It was an Indian woman who is an immigrant that said that. Not even the white liberal lady said that shit.
What Indian woman?
Right, they're the worst. If it's South Asian, they're the worst people. They just anti us more than the white people. So I will not be surprised.
So it was an Indian woman that said that from all the stuff that President Trump did, which ain't really illegal if you want to be for real about it, but we go into that. But she's saying that we should give reparations to illegal immigrants, and nobody's going to go.
They should get the hell back to India. They should go back to India and get it from there.
You can't say that.
What business they have in America anyway to start with? And in fact, I think that's one of the reasons. I think that's one of the reasons why the US actually got rid of this student visa, because they come there from India pretending to be students, but they're abusing the visa
That
and
didn't.
for
I hate
everybody
to
else.
break it to Africa, but that didn't happen. They still have the H-1B visa. They still have student visas from India. So that's not true. They proposed it and then Trump backtracked. I gotta be fair. I'm not gonna. So see, I can't call me mega. I tell the truth. They didn't get rid of it.
Well, you see, this is a problem. This is the problem we face with this both for these political parties because they both not representing the African descent. That we hear because the reality is that visa there is not good for the local population. I guarantee you that. And these people are not good for America. And I'm seeing some of their politicians popping up over there, and it's a red sign. It's a red flag. We know that in the UK, it's a very red flag
Well,
and
check this out,
you should not
everybody.
tolerate. Yeah. Mm.
Today was the very first day for the opening arguments for the birthright citizenship case that's in front of the Supreme Court. They're going to rule on it probably in June, no later than July of this month. This is going to be one of the most important Supreme Court cases in a century. And let me tell you why this is very good for U.S. slavery descendants. Because the only way that Trump is going to win in the Supreme Court back his executive order, and I think he's going to win. I think it's going to be at least 7-2. The only way it's going to win is they're going to have no choice. And they already brought up in opening arguments. They've already been saying, they didn't mention Black Americans nor African Americans, but it's been mentioned many times how the 14th Amendment is based on the 1866 Civil Rights Act. This is a lot of people, they may not understand it too, but the 1866 Civil Rights Act is what actually gave formerly enslaved Negroes and their direct descendants citizenship. The 14th Amendment was made because there was always a fear of, well, what if someone comes along later and try to get rid of this law and try to put when my people was then called Negroes back in slavery or say that we leave to leave the country. That's why they create the 14th Amendment as a sort of like a backup, let me not say backup, a double safety protocol to make sure that we can never be stripped of citizenship. That's never been the problem. The problem is that more than a century later is all this other stuff, including misapplication of birthright citizenship, has been tacked on it. So to land my plane, when this decision is reached, and most likely the majority of the court is going to agree with Trump and is going to go through, that is also going to both directly and indirectly help U.S. slavery descendants, because now we're getting new legislation saying, hey, you can't just use laws that was meant for one group of people and it applies to everyone. So that's going to be a very important starting point for U.S. slavery descendants.
I think you deserve it. I think you deserve it. Do you know why? Because Pastor King, that's one thing I will agree with you, because you as a group need to be differentiated to the other group that came there. I already said that. The reason why that is, there's so many reasons if you look at it. Because you don't want another group of people that will come there to undermine your history, your heritage, and your hard work. It is already happening in Europe. No, you don't want that, no, because they don't have the same interest as you have. This is something you should always stick to as African Americans. Always stick to that. Stick to your own. But also, I know you don't all speak in one voice, but there's certain things like this you should actually stick together. And it kind of worried me also. I haven't never seen, both of the main political party put in an African American so-called FBA as a front runner, to be a president. Because now you had someone like Obama that was a president. He's not really African American, is he? He's a Kenyan.
No,
It's the fact you have no
America,
exactly.
The United States don't want to see that. The United States.
You see, that's no good. That's not a good sign. And you have no connection to West Africa to understand the history of slavery. You understand? So these are the things you need to look out for, moving forward. So if this bill is going to separate between you and the African migrants or the Black immigrants that are coming over there, to give you more, certain identity, definitely I agree with that. That should go forward, and they should pass it through the Senate or whatever you have in America. Because over here we have the parliament.
Africa. That's part of the whole thing with the reparations. It's not like, oh, give us free money. It's compensation for what was done to our ancestors, a crime against humanity for generations. Also, Let me tell you.
Hey, guys, I got to read this last super chat and we got to close out. JCE, thank you for 499 holla. The Japanese had a nation behind them. Their economic power was second to the U.S. FBAs are American. They don't have a country outside the U.S. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Till next time, family. Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.